We're all muted. Hi, guys. I'm a professional. So, I'm really excited to be playing Vecna Lives today with these wonderful people. Muted. Hi, guys. Oh, and I didn't mute my tab. Wow, there we go. I'm super professional. All right, we're just going to introduce ourselves and who we're playing. Don.
Take two.
Take two.
Hey, I'm Don. I'm playing Tomb, or as the locals call him, Sir Tomb, the Knight of Worms. He's a mysterious, imposing figure that doesn't speak very much, and he doesn't like being called the Knight of Worms.
Excellent. Can't wait to see more of him. Josh.
Hi, my name is Josh. I am playing Mickey. He also literally never shuts up. Loves it when you say his name. Absolutely adores it. Yeah, basically, even his token is me. I am that vain. Sue me. I'm playing an Eldritch Knight / swashbuckling hero.
Excellent. Excellent. Mythmatic.
Hi there. I'm Mythmatic. I'm playing Rogan. I don't remember my last name. Rogan Thunderbeard. He is a gunsmith artificer. He used to be a caravan warden, and then his caravan got taken out by bandits. He, being the lone survivor, murdered all of them, and now he's got a grudge versus anybody who ever asks for tolls or is a bandit. So that's him. Bit of a hunter, sniper, and angry.
How could you forget the name Thunderbeard? That's the most dramatically bad name.
I was wondering which name I went with. I spent more time figuring out the name than the rest of the character sheet.
That happens.
With the character.
And off the bat, thanks to Devin Rue, we are gonna have to roll some divine favor. But first, Zippy, who are you gonna be playing today?
Hi, I'm Zippy. I'm going to be playing Kane Abelson, a monster hunting barbarian.
Thank you so much for what you do.
Yeah, that's what he is. He's a monster hunting barbarian. Think Von Helsing if Von Helsing could fly into a rage.
Yeah, okay.
That's awesome. I'm really excited to see this. Let's get this divine favor done right now before I forget. So I'm gonna go over it again because we have all new people to the Greyhawk channel, I believe, today. So divine favor, we're gonna roll a d4, see who gets it, and then whoever gets it will roll a d6, and you will gain a boon which you can use later on in the campaign or whenever you like. So we're just gonna go with the same thing, same way we introduced everybody. So a d4, and I'll roll it in the chat here. Chaotic Kiki, thank you for the subscription. And it looks like Mythmatic, you get some divine favor. Can you please roll me a d6?
Sweet.
This is what happens. This is what happens when you have such a badass name. It just happens.
All right. You get divine efficacy. Any d20 roll that can be added to a single damage or healing. So just keep track of that.
I get an extra d20 that I can put in healing or damage?
That's what it says on the divine favor chart.
That's
pretty
right. Strong.
All right.
You done good.
I'll take it. Thank you.
All right. So we're gonna set the scene here. Each one of you has, within the past couple of months, received a letter from your friends in the Circle of Eight. Sir Tomb, your friend is Odaluk. He asked for you to come back to the Free City of Greyhawk after you completed your job and stay through the holidays, because, you're pretty cool. And there is a rather interesting festival coming up at the new year. Mickey, your good friend, how do I pronounce her name? Jarleezy? I think that's it. I'm not great with yes. Her.
Yes.
Jalarzi.
Jalarzi. There we go. Jalarzi. She kind of sent you like a cease and desist in the mail. But
Restraining order.
Who takes those things seriously anyway?
Exactly.
Please stop sending flowers to my house.
Basically. And you figure the perfect time to surprise her is going to be at this New Year's festival. You're kind of like on the other side of the continent at the time. It's going to take you a while
Yeah.
to travel there.
Oh yeah. But I mean, trust me.
Yeah.
You
All
should
right.
see it.
Worth.
Rogan. Let's see. Your friend in the circle of 8. I did not write your friend down.
My friend?
Yeah.
Nestul.
Nistul. Yes.
Yeah,
Nistul.
the master of disguise.
Yes, he said that he was, they're having some issues with certain types of divine magic and other things going on, and he was going to kind of ask for your unique perspective in magic for assistance.
Makes sense.
And he asked you to come to the capital, and Kane, your good buddy, Rary, he's also sent you a letter asking for your knowledge on certain matters. Maybe a foreign perspective could help with the problem they're having. So you all get these letters, and it takes you about to the New Year to get to the free city of Greyhawk. But as soon as you get these letters, you feel like a vision come over you. Whenever it is that you're traveling to, it's at different times for all of you, but once you're pretty near the city of Greyhawk, you get a vision of the Circle of 8. They're in a tunnel. It's very dark. They're easily disarming traps, flick of the wrist, a little magic here, a little magic there. It's no problem. However, they get to a sealed tomb at the end, and they have some problems, actually. They actually have some problems dispelling it. But they manage to break through. When they get through, it's very dark, so they put a light spell in there, and you see a sarcophagus at the end. They fight some gargoyles that came up, but then the sarcophagus lid slides open, and you see through their eyes a very thin, skeletal-like man, the skin pulled gaunt and taut over his face, crawl out, and he freezes. And then the next thing you know, the lights go dark. The lights pop back on, and he's standing right next to Odaluk. You see that Bigby and Tensor are on the floor, maybe dead? It's hard to tell. The lights go off again. The lights come back. And then, the next thing you know, Kane, your vision goes dark. It's almost like you felt a hand around your throat for a second, and you're kind of back to yourself, back to where you were. The rest of you see that Rary has fallen. Lights go off, the lights come back on, and the whole time you kind of hear Vecna when the lights come back on, and then everything's dark. Your vision, you feel like something around your throat again. Everyone else, you kind of open up, and you think your friends might be dead. You get this very ominous feeling you get. And there's a message that kind of lingers in your mind that says, warn Mordenkainen. And you guys get to the free city of Greyhawk. It's been 6 months since initially receiving whatever messages you got. And it is the new year. So, there's currently Needfest going on. That is the name of the festival that takes place during the new year. There is feasting, there is charitable gifts of food and drink, there's lots of, news and gossip. It's a week of celebration. It's not really a religious celebration, but, several of the local religions take note of it, nonetheless. You guys get into town, and several of you have seen each other in passing, but I don't know if all of you know each other, per se. You're all gathered, kind of, at this inn. It's the only inn that had rooms, because, holidays, you get what you can. It's called the Rock and Oliphant. And you guys are all sitting in the tavern room, kind of looking over the letters you've received, or the cease and desist order in Mickey's case. You kind of all take notice of each other.
One question.
Yes.
This is called the Rock and Oliphant.
Yes.
Is the tavern keeper's name Timothy?
Sure.
Does Timothy own the Tavern Oliphant?
Yes. Sure.
Yes, Ziffy. Yes.
All right, wonderful.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you guys see each other. Let's say I'm pretty sure that Sir Toom would have seen Kane a couple of times hanging out with the mages before. Mickey's probably seen all of you because he was kind of hanging out a lot around. And Rogan
We go way back.
might know Kane as well. Kane's pretty good with Rary.
Kane would probably just he would be looking at the job board, looking for any jobs that require a look into the supernatural, ghosts, undead, vampires, etc.
Yeah, there's a lot of like flyers for the holidays, like sale going on and stuff right now. Like everyone's doing shopping, but there's like a couple of notice boards, far less than normal. You know that the Mages Tower normally puts out a lot of the like more supernaturally stuff. You don't see much from them.
And anybody just like looking passively at Kane, he's about 5'9". He's not wearing any extravagant clothes. He's wearing just common clothes, something that you would see either just a shopkeep or a farmer wear and stuff. He has a woods like a quarterstaff that he holds in one hand and kind of leans on. On his back, he has what looks to be like a great sword, wrapped in bandages and covered in chains. He has very olive skin, short dark brown hair, and the most piercing things about piercing, I guess, aspects about it is his eyes. His eyes are like a golden yellow brownish color, very foreign.
Mysterious. All right.
So I guess Kane would be noticed by Tomb, who is large, a little over 6 foot, very broad figure in plate mail armor, and his armor is wrapped in a sand blasted cloak, just a tattered traveler's cloak. He's very imposing. He doesn't move a lot. He's actually not sitting down. He's just sort of standing in a dark corner. And he's well known because of his mask. He actually wears a mask over his helm, and it's this dark iron mask with a nose that's flat, sort of like a pig's. If you took a pig's and smashed it into his face.
Oh, is it like a Greek theater kind of mask?
Similar, yeah, very, very similar. It has 2 eye holes, some etchings around the facial structure, and you can't really ever see his eyes behind the mask. But he's wielding, just sort of leaning up against himself, a blade that sort of looks like a cross between a sword and a halberd. It's got a long haft, like a halberd, and it's got a long reach. That's right. It's like a schmalberd.
A halb sword.
It's a real thing. It's not. Yeah. But he has one, and he's got a couple of shorter swords. That's right. And he's just standing there. He makes people uncomfortable, so I think people tend to stay away from him. Like if you get within 10 feet of him, some people find that the temperature in their body rises a little bit, and like maybe their passions become a little bit more heated. Kane, if he'd met before, you would know that he probably works for the Circle of 8 as a bounty hunter occasionally.
Okay, yeah,
their paths have crossed before.
Yeah, we would have definitely crossed paths because he does a lot of work for Rari. You know, when he's not, checking out ghosts and whatnot, he would definitely be doing a lot of favors for Rari. And yeah, we would cross paths.
Yeah, and Tomb, by comparison, more specializes in hunting and tracking down rogue mages. So anytime that those two interests, which they often do,
Yeah,
they probably would have met each
necromancers
other.
and whatnot.
That's right.
Yeah, we probably work together hunting a necromancer. You know, you would know that Kane is very disdains the thought of killing someone. You know, he would most rather incapacitate them than to take their life.
And
So-
Kane would probably know that Tomb's a man of little words, but in juxtaposition, when he does act, he typically acts with direct violence. That is his answer to most problems.
And I think that's what causes a little bit of tension between us, is
Yeah.
because our methods, though they kind of run parallel, I don't think they meet in certain parts. They diverge when it comes to how we conclude. That makes sense. Probably
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, I know. It makes sense. I agree. And right now, I think Tomb would probably be like, he would pull the little letter he has up and he would read it and he'd like crumple it up into his mailed hand. And then like a few moments later, or maybe a few minutes later, he would probably fold it again and then reread it and then crumple it up into his mailed hand.
All right. What would Rogan be doing in the tavern?
Rogan's drinking. I mean, he's come on.
What am I
He's got his
thinking? It's a dwarf.
silly, but he is very quiet, very edgy dwarf. He sits at the bar like most beginning heroes at the beginning of an adventure with their cloak up, and just drinking quietly by themselves. He does have on his back probably a 5 foot, like a little taller than he is, rifle that is made, instead of iron, it's made of a black marble. So the barrel is made of black marble, and there's still the wood, casing around it, and it has some gold flecks of rivets and such. Obviously dwarven make, but that is his pride and joy, and that is what he's been hunting with, and that sits on his back. And he has a pipe in his mouth and a tankard full of dark ale. He's keeping his ears out, listening as he does for any sort of, information on this Morbin Babin or whatever. He doesn't remember his name correctly.
Awesome. And what is Mickey doing in the tavern?
Mickey is sat one stool down from Rogan. He's leaning back against the bar, just relaxing. He is wearing a white shirt that is collarless and just flared out. Simple black vest. He has a strap across his shoulders, which holds a small bag of things that entirely belong to him, he swears. He has a pair of rapiers, one on each hip, that are very nice. One sporting a very blood red gem that is set into the hilt. Round his neck, there is a small gemstone that is. It looks almost like it's more like ore, so it's like an actual stone with like crystals that grow out of it. He's looking around. So I'm being distracted by lewd images that Grant's sending me. It's not. He's got a glass of wine in one hand. I know, it's just.
Grant, we know you're a bad boy, but during the stream.
Yeah. So
Grant's cheating on me?
We're all just like, Grant, you told me I was special.
I was the special one.
He's keeping an eye on the door, waiting for, waiting to shout surprise as his ex-girlfriend walks in, who he's totally invited to this shindig. He keeps looking over to Rogan, sussing him out.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen him well, not totally not stalking Jalarzi around the tower.
Yeah.
She was totally into me, okay?
Totally. She probably was. It's like an on again, off again thing. It's fine. Alright, so. You guys are chilling there at the inn, and you all see a familiar figure enter in. The librarian from the inn. It stands out quite a bit because they are indeed a drow, actually. So it's a little bit of a... You're not your typical...
Kinky.
librarian. Yeah, I know. Them drow, though. But you see them kind of sit in. They kind of look... They look exhausted. He looks like he hasn't gotten a good night's sleep in days. And you would recall his name to be Darnak. No, wait, no. Jawal. Darnak's the dwarf guard.
Jalal?
Meta.
Jawal. Jawal.
Jowal. Okay, his name is
Jawal.
Jowal.
Severnane.
Okay.
He looks really tired.
Kane would approach and kind of place a hand on his elbow and pull him in close. Are you all right?
Oh, yes, completely, totally fine. Oh, it's been some while since I've seen you around town.
Yes. Are you look completely tired, like exhausted.
It's a bit short-staffed right now at the Mage's Tower, so these things happen.
Are you here about... we had those visions.
Yeah, you guys had the
so-
visions
okay.
and letters asking you to meet them in town, or
Would he
restraint
know?
orders.
Well, he would ask. So Kane would ask, "Are you here about the letters that I received?"
You received a letter.
I hand him the letter.
All
I
right.
still have mine.
Oh, well, I'm afraid Master Odaluk hasn't been seen here. Or not Odaluk, Master Rary.
I don't care about Master Odaluk. What happened to
well,
Master Rary?
Master Odaluk and Master Rary haven't really been seen in months. They've been off on some quest or something.
Yes. I don't know.
About 6 months, and you would have gotten the letter and vision about 6 months ago.
Okay. When I received this letter, it came with a vision. Rory and the other Circle of Eight, they fell. They said something about Warren Mornicaden.
Don't be ridiculous. The Circle of Eight, and he kind of, as you say, like they fell. He's like, what do you mean fell? The Circle of Eight's just fine. He says that like really loudly.
And he talks. he thinks that he thinks that he's like talking loudly because Kane's foreign, and he's like, "No, I saw a giant undead being slay the Circle of Eight."
He pulls you down. He's like, shh. All right, not so loud. It'll cause panic in the city. This is not, you can't just be yelling that around people. The peasants, the common folk, they don't know what to do but panic.
No,
Come,
I'm sorry.
You should, just takes a deep breath. He says, you should come to, kind of just readjust himself to the Mage Tower and speak with the master of the guild, the master of the Mages Guild. He might know more. I just know that there's rumors in the Mages Guild that all is not well with them.
Right, but does he know where we can find? I can find this Mordencaden.
Mordenkainen, he hasn't been in the. He came to the library about 3 months ago. He probably knows where he is. Mordenkainen was very busy last time he was here.
All right, I'll go with you.
All right, well, I'm getting a drink, and I just got off of work for the day. So just go over to the Mages Guild when you're ready. He goes back to like a normal tone with that. I'm off of work for the day. Go to the Mages Guild when you're ready. Ugh.
Fine, I will go to the Mages Guild and talk to the Guildmaster. And he kind of just, people in Greyhawk are just so inconsiderate. And he walks out the door.
Okay, everybody pretty much saw and heard that exchange. Probably the whole thing. But most of the peasantry is way too intoxicated and may have rolled a 3 on their perception check to hear anything. They're just all way too engrossed in their conversations. So like, oh, those loud
We've all been
people over
there.
Yeah.
So drunk that everything sounds like mumbling.
Yep.
Everything's a 3. Yep.
Everything's a 3.
What can you do?
What time of day is it right now?
Right now it is about
Time for drinking.
mid-afternoon.
Is that what time of day it is?
Mid-afternoon. Yeah. It's
Beer
obviously
30.
time to
It's
drink.
time for a drink. Yeah.
I think Sir Toom will uncrumple his letter again and kind of smooth it out in his gauntlet, and then he'll follow Kane, having heard the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Mickey sort of swings his legs out, landing on his feet, looks around, glances over to the dwarf. What's your business here in town?
Hey, what? Sorry.
And what brings you to town? Haven't seen you in a little while.
I haven't seen me in a little while.
That's what. I literally pick up his flagon and check the contents. Like, how drunk is this dwarf? Put it back down. Like,
I've never seen you.
oh right. Well, in which case, this is a pretty creepy bit of dialogue. Look, I
Hey,
wondered if you were here because you'd got a letter or something.
I'm here to find a morbid baby. Then.
You're here to find a Morden baby. Well, I know someone who could give you a Morden baby. His name's Morden Kine. I'm sure he.
That's it. Yeah, Martin Kynan. Yeah, that's him. Aye,
Right.
looking for him.
Well, you see the shady fucker who just walked out. I have a sneaking suspicion, given the fact that they're the loudest individual I've ever heard in my entire life, that they might be walking in the right direction. So, fancy a wander.
You got all that from just his walk out there.
Sure. So, you coming with? You look like
Interesting.
you're stuff.
I sure. And I just finished the mug.
Yeah.
And and then
It's
wipe
like
the-
full, but
wipe-
it's just it like takes 2 seconds and then
Right.
it's empty.
exactly.
I'm going to lean over the bar and just grab a bottle of wine and leave coin. That's probably not enough coin on the bar.
Probably not. Yeah, a coin.
I leave a coin. It's wood. It's a button. I just leave the button on the bar. I just nod to the barman and I'm going to start walking out.
Oi! You go cover your tab.
Oh, no. You see, I'm here on business.
This is a bloody button.
It's a write-off.
It's a very nice button. That's off one of my favorite shirts.
Well, I ain't gonna cover your drink.
No, you're right. It just falls straight in. And I'm going to walk out.
I don't want to see your face around here ever again. You hear me?
Okay, where were you thinking of meeting later?
Oh, and she just exasperated.
I walk out the door.
Then put it on his tab. Here, mumbling, grumbling. You know, the tab's just getting deeper and deeper.
My tab.
So then, what brings you here then? You're a half-elf, right?
Yeah.
Elf?
Reconnecting with an old flame of mine. Sent me a love letter, so guessing she wants to see me, so I figured I'd swing by town and surprise her. And like looking around, I'm gonna see. Is there any flowers I can pick along the way? 'Cause
It's winter, but it is festival time, so there's some like poinsettias, like kind of around other
You
winter
watched-
blooming flowers.
he waves his hand, and a spectral
Entering
hand just
Greyhawk.
appears, wraps itself around like some of these blossoms and picks them, and they move over to his hand. And he just what exactly are your plans while you're in town, other than this Mordekainen fella?
Probably drink.
I
You saw most of
slam-
it.
I hammer him on the shoulder, and I'm like, "We are going to be fast friends. Don't even worry about it."
Aye. Well, we're going to need to find more places to drink, because I don't think you're allowed there anymore.
That's the third time I've been barred from that place. It's fine.
Aye, all right. So, you know what I like about the winter?
The fact that, ladies have to find ways to keep themselves warm at night. Or gents. I don't judge.
No, I was going to just talk about the prince here. Now, just makes it super easy for us to follow that bloke there.
I know, he's got some really... I can almost see his toes through his shoes.
He walks like a foreigner. Look at that. You can tell right here he's not from here.
Right.
He carries a lot of stress in his back. Look at that. You see
How
that,
far?
right?
How far away are they tailing me?
Probably. Well, it did take a second to get off from the bar. Probably like 30 feet behind.
30 feet.
30 to
Does
50.
passive perception 17 allow me to kind of?
With a 17, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
You probably hear it walks like a foreigner. He does. Look at that. And then, like, I'm bent over, just like literally I have like the end of my pipe in your footprint, and I'm just talking about the stresses that you may have.
And Kane kind of like I guess he straightens up and then he begins to try to walk gracefully, with nobility and grace.
Yes.
Trying to not walk like a foreigner.
Definitely.
He's like, right, they're going to know that I'm foreign.
I look at him, I'm just like, he's got a nice ass, though. You got to give him that. Matey! You, fella!
Kane stops and he feigns surprise. Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Yes.
Well, you were
That's
wondering...
the guy. That's him right there.
That's the guy. Get him!
We deport his ass. I sort of saunter up to him and I'm like, you here for this meeting, the one at the Mage's Tower?
I'm going to speak with the leader of the Mages Guild and find out.
Fantastic! You come
Why
with
is
us
everybody why don't we all go looking for murdered baby? What is it?
Mortar bait. I think you have the wrong city.
No. He's got the right city.
I think you have the wrong city, foreigner. Look at you. Trying to look like an elf now. Look at that.
Easy, friend.
I'm sorry.
I
apologize.
get stressed when people question my tracking.
Well, maybe he's not the only one carrying some tension. Just...
I don't know what you're talking about. I need another beer. I'll be right back. And I turn around and get another mug of ale.
All right. Yeah, you
Get me a bottle of wine.
I don't think they'll let me. I don't drink wine and they know it. Oh, right.
turn back around. Goes back to the bar.
As Rogan turns around, you guys would probably notice that Tomb is like maybe 15 feet away from you, just standing and like iron mask, just like staring at the group of people there.
Pardon me. Okay. All right. Excuse me. All right. Yep. Oh, pardon. I just need to get by. Got to get another ale here. And a bottle of wine for me, friend. Pardon. You make a better gate than a door.
He kind of just barely shifts.
It makes
his
sense
body.
to him.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Mickey's like, you go through gates and look, just
Like I could feed a small goat through you is what I'm trying to. Never mind. Pardon. And I try to like make my way around him, and probably trips on or I get my gun snags on your cape because it's tattered, and just there's another awkward moment where I'm like, oh, sorry, sorry about that. Sorry.
You've got your gun in my cape.
He tries
to. Never happens.
He tries to pull the cape away, and you can hear like, but he doesn't say anything. And then he'll finally acquiesce, and he'll take a big step back.
Thank you. Sorry. You want anything? I'm going inside. You drinker. Of course you are. I'll get you a beer.
How can he drink? He doesn't have a hole for the straw.
Oh,
get you a straw.
Wow, you really don't talk much. You kind of look like a gargoyle, maybe, or something like that.
This is, and I'm happy to see you, Sir Toombs. This is Sir Tomb. He is
This conversation happening 30 feet from each other.
yeah.
Peasants
that
walking
is Sir
by,
Tomb.
like someone's like herding geese, and they're like, "Oh, excuse me, sorry, herding me."
Sir
Give me a moment,
Toombs,
I'm
good to see
interrupting.
you.
I've heard of him. He's the big worm dude, right?
At that, Sir Tomb starts striding forward towards the closer, weaving around peasants, or more likely peasants are like just avoiding him entirely.
They're kind of weaving around everybody else, but then like the waters part around Sir Tomb, and she has a path wherever he wants to walk.
He gets close to Mickey and he holds out a gauntleted hand, and he says, "Just Tomb. Just Tomb. I am not a knight."
Ah, right. I'm so sorry.
But are you the
Tomb?
You know, the
That is not the name that I chose for myself.
lady give it to you or something?
I do not know. I would just like you to call me. Who are you?
Oh, right. My name's Mickey Cartwell. I'm visiting someone in town, Old Flame. So, you heading in our direction? We're going to the Mage's Tower.
He turns towards Kane. He says, "I heard what you said."
I think
Did
everyone
you-
in the fucking bar heard.
Right, yeah, like everybody who wasn't
It
drunk.
wasn't my fault. You foreigners, that you guys, you like to talk loudly when you assume somebody can't understand you.
Right. Okay.
I'm
Sense
back
in
with
the-
beer.
See, look. He's talking very loudly. I can understand you. You don't have to talk in such a volume.
Mickey just uncorks the bottle.
Yeah.
with-
He's
with
just got
his
like he just took the barmaid's tray. He's just got like beers and like a bottle of wine.
She was preparing someone else's order,
Yes.
and he just
Yeah,
walked
just
off
grabbed
with
it off of the speed bar. Yeah, the service bar. Just all right. Yeah, that's 3 beers and a bottle of wine. There we are.
Thank you. And I'm
Alright.
yeah. So we're all headed to the Mage's Tower, right?
Yes, I would assume I received a letter, and I look at Tombs. I assumed you did as well.
Yeah, and he holds up his wrinkled letter and
It's been
bobs his
crumpled
head.
And
It's been crumpled many
like,
times.
So many times. It's kind of hard to read
It's
it.
like a
but-
piece of cloth now. Yeah.
And he'll say, "Yes, you think that something is wrong with the circle?"
Yes,
More like an overload.
I had a vision of a tomb, an undead being, and
And I
Hold on,
elbowed the
Tomb's
knife.
undead?
no, not this tomb. A tomb where you
It is a different tomb.
entomb
Aye.
corpses.
I get confused for being undead very often.
Is that why you wear a mask? Is that anyway? You were saying I didn't catch your name.
My name is Kane Abelson.
That's not even foreign sounding. Bro, Dwarf, I think you might have it wrong. Sorry, I'm Mickey, everybody.
No, I could tell by the tracks he's a foreigner. All right,
Right.
I know that he's not from here. He's got
Okay,
a pigeon
okay.
toes like he's from the south.
Just glazing on over this racist overtone. Like you said, you saw a tomb. What kind of
Yes.
tomb?
I'm a
Very.
dwarf. There's no such thing as racism. It's made up.
It's dwarfish. A very old tomb, a very ancient tomb. Then there was a flash. They were inside the tomb, sarcophagus, undead being members of the Circle of 8 falling. And then all I heard was Warren Mordenkainen.
I fucking knew she was right.
I also heard that. I had that same thing. That same flicker going up in my old brain space here.
And I would think it's more than just happenstance that we are here together at this very moment. Which is
Well-
weird. I do not believe in destiny, but I guess that it's coincidence.
I mean,
Isn't
trust me,
coincidence.
it depends on the destiny. There's a girl down by the port. Anyway, we should probably scarf her. I imagine they're probably waiting for us. Red carpet rolled out and all that.
I wouldn't assume to think that we are as important to have a red carpet rolled out for us, but I mean, if you are as famous as you portray to be, then maybe.
Purport to be, not portray to be. I'm not. It's purport. It's. Doesn't matter. You're foreign. You pick it up.
Right. Yes. To the Mage's Tower. And he kind of turns and starts to walk away. Trying to look at unforeign. He might be swaying.
Trying to sway your hips like you've seen the girls in the docks do.
No, well, kind of
Just
he looks over at a farmer who's obviously inebriated and how he's staggering and he's trying to mimic that.
While we're in the middle of the street having this conversation, does it seem like anybody suspicious looking is keeping an eye on us, or are
Good
we
question. Why don't you make me a perception check? And also, the important question is Kane, did you take one of the beers that was offered?
No, he didn't. He didn't understand.
Oh.
You just assume that they're all.
They're all for Rogan.
Yeah, she's like, we have dwarves where I come from, and they just rather drink all of the beer.
That is,
My perception was a 26.
yeah.
Mine
That
was the 10.
expertise, though.
Oh, I'm a skill monkey.
Let me see.
My passive is.
Oh.
Oh, damn.
That's lower than the passive.
So what happens is while Kane is trying to copy how this farmer is walking, he accidentally just walks into the maypole and then has to go around it.
He kind of buttons his waistcoat and grabs his staff and he's like, yes. Excuse me, he says to the pole, and he begins to walk.
All right. Tomb doesn't notice anything out of the ordinary. A lot of peasants, a lot of just goings on. You see Mickey. You see somebody. He kind of looks a little grungy, maybe like a hobo or something. Kind of watching y'all from the alleys. Kind of got a little bit of a hungry look in his eye.
I sort of, as we're walking along here, I sort of mutter under my breath to Rogan, who I still haven't learned his name yet.
Right.
And I just say, listen, buddy, you don't be owing anyone any money for that bar tab, do you? Because we got someone following us. See the trampy looking fella over in the... Oh, stop looking so obviously. Just stop, like hand on his face, stopping him from just being like.
Right there.
What I'll do is I'll part one of my fingers so he can peek through the finger.
I see him now. All right, there.
Yeah. Don't suppose you happen to recognize the fella, because he certainly seems interested in us. I mean, it's not
Do
unusual.
I recognize that fella?
You saw him kind of skulking outside of the bar,
I recognize him. I saw him a moment ago by the bar, but I don't know him.
he was drinking the real cheap ale in the corner.
He was drinking the believe it's called
It's the swill.
The pish washer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
the Keystone.
I walk over, I put my arm around Kane's hips to straighten up his gait, and as I do, really essentially, I say,
You put your arms up. Okay, yeah. Never mind. I thought
Kane. Yeah. I wrap myself. I'm playing a
I was
character
like, what are you
Kane later, so it's going to be super confusing for me.
Right.
I put my arm around Kane's hips, and I'm like, no, you need less sway, and You happen to recognize the fellow who's following us over alleyway? 2 streets away.
I do a reversal on Mickey to where I have him in my arms as if we were about to dance.
I use prestidigitation, and there is music, and I begin to dance with him.
And every time we kind of make our round, Kane is going to look towards the direction that Mickey had stated. And would I recognize him?
You saw him skulk in like the corner of the bar too, drinking his swill. He had like one cup. He was nursing it for a while, and then he got up and left right before y'all did.
Kane dips Mickey. He was over in the bar in the corner. That's all I remember. I don't remember him from anywhere else.
Mickey is going to like pirouette beautifully into Tomb's arms and hold Tomb. How does Tomb react?
So you probably like at first you would almost bounce off of him, and then he would reach out and grab you, and he would also begin. But he can't keep beat. You know, he can't turn. And you'd probably feel under his palm as you guys are dancing there, the worms like crawling.
Lush. So Mickey just sort of, maybe not. Tomb, fella over there, we're being followed. You in any kind of trouble or something?
I am never in trouble. You'll turn and take a look. Does he recognize this guy?
He just kind of like looks at Mickey and then he's like,
there he is.
Yep, see him.
Does Tomb recognize this scruffy fella?
You saw him lurking in the bar too. Right now he's kind of like sitting behind a fire, like a small brazier. He's got like an old stick, and he's kind of just like
is he looking at us?
Yeah.
Like, has he recognized our entire farce by now?
I mean, you guys are dancing, which isn't super uncommon, but you're also like, don't look! dance. Like, staring. So he's kind of like, looking at y'all, just picking at his teeth. Kind of like got an eyebrow cocked, like, these weirdos.
You want the next dance?
Shakes his head, starts walking away, just like...
As the Greyhawkians say, take a picture, it would last longer. Is that what you guys say?
No one's ever said that ever. What is a picture?
I think he means paint a portrait, it'd last longer.
Ah, yeah, I've heard that before.
You don't have photographic cameras?
What is
they haven't reached here?
What is that?
Oh, no worries. Don't worry. And he kind of like straightens up his waistcoat and keeps walking.
Should we follow that man? Is he of concern, or is he just... I
want to be honest with you. I have no idea why that man was brought up right now. Could we, why are you dancing? And what is that? Who is that guy?
Because if we're being summoned to this place and it's as bad as Kane broadcast to the entire tavern, I'm starting to think that other people might be interested as well.
Well, you just danced in the middle of the square here.
Are you telling me you didn't like my dancing? Is it because I didn't dance with you? Are we making a thing out of this now?
No, it's not that. I was just saying that
you...
Yes, what? Not yes, you.
Right.
You heard the same name that I heard in the vision, yes, the one whispered over and over.
I might have heard a name, yeah.
Is that name familiar to you? Any of you?
Would I have heard of Mordecai?
Yeah, everybody's. Well, not everybody. You guys would have heard of Morning Cane. You've been hung around.
I'm like I look around the group and I'm like, really? You
I would have
guys
heard this stool probably say something.
generally haven't heard of Mordecai? He's like the big, bald, fucking. Well, he's got a wicked stash. Like you don't. The big goats, no.
Not Mordenkainen, Kanan, baby.
Mordenkainen, baby.
No.
Baby.
Moldy baby.
Moldy baby.
The other name, the one that starts and he'll lean in with a V.
Ah, yes, Vecna. He just says out loud.
He's got a mask on, but he grimaced beneath his mask.
You catch a slight flash of like the eye, like the anime eyes, just like through the mask.
Vorden, baby, Vorden.
That creature has cultists that are active throughout the lands. If he is involved with the circle in some way, then we must be suspicious of everyone. And then he kind of looks between the three of you.
The three of you probably haven't heard of Vecna.
Just we've heard of the name. Well, like
You've heard the
Kane
name.
knows the name. But
Yeah,
he
you know
doesn't
the name
who
from
it
your
is.
vision, but that's about it. Maybe one or two old, like, spooky bedtime stories, campfire stories when y'all were kids. Like, we're not supposed to talk about this spooky story, but Vecna. It's like, whoo, like the hyenas in The Lion King with the name Mufasa. Is like, you know, the little young kids saying it around the campfire.
He's basically the Candy Man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all you've heard of him.
Right, in which case we should probably get cracking because this is starting to sound like end of the world prophetic kind of
You
stuff.
said kraken. You know, someday I will get out on the sea and I will hunt myself a kraken. You know that? I'll do it.
I can imagine you floating something wonderfully.
Oh,
There
right.
was a story from where I'm from about a king who went out on a boat and fought a kraken.
Right. Thank you.
Just
so
him.
much. Thank you for.
He was on a single sloop, and he sailed out into the middle of the ocean. The kraken sprouted up, and he came home victorious.
My life is richer for knowing that story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Can we?
I'm continue walking. I assume everyone's walking and talking.
Yeah. It's like a casual stroll. Because the streets are very crowded. Although, with Tomb in your group, it's definitely much less hindrance than you would have had going
I pictured
individually.
Tomb is like the mountain.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
Game of
But,
Thrones.
little
yeah,
bit.
from Game of Thrones with
Very much
clad in
so.
armor, but with like the tattered thing, and is just that tall, giant-esque, and then
The
like the mask, of course, and everything. Yeah, and just that's me. That's where I am. That's where I'm at, chat. So, if you want to go on this imaginary ride with me, you can hop on.
Choo choo. So, the train heads to the Mages Guild, the Mages Tower. And you all recognize a very familiar face to anyone who's been to the Mages Tower before would recognize Darnak Korskan. He is a dwarven porter who
I think I heard that name
guards
somewhere.
who guards the what? No. He guards the Mages Tower. Anyone who wants to get in has to get past him. Basically, he's like the bouncer. He's got the guest list. He says whether you go in or whether you don't. And he's probably whooped Mickey a few times.
Yeah, it's just like I look at him and I'm like, how is he alive?
He like looks at you and he like narrows his eyes.
I
I'm with them.
approach Darnak.
Darnak. I'll put it in the
Darnak.
chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I approach Darnak and I say, these two are with Tomb and I. We are here to see the leader of the guild.
Hi there.
You want to see the guild master then? Oh, I accidentally fucked up all the cameras, I think. Hold on a second.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
While he's distracted, Mickey slips in.
There I go. No, that's not what happens. Alright.
Mickey just reaches through the fourth wall, screws with the stream, and slips into the Mage's Tower.
No, apparently I just paused them. It's fine. We're good. We're good now. I thought they all shifted, but no, we're good. You there? I can't be letting him in. We've got a restraining order.
Right, he's a foreigner. Look at him.
I will have you know I was born in a hamlet 70 miles away.
Darnak, you can't be talking racist to my friend here.
No,
Okay,
Kane,
he's
you're fine. You're fine. You know.
Exactly, so we've got no problem. So
You, sir,
Perfect.
there's a restraining. You're here on the do not enter list right here.
I lean over to look at it. Let me just check what spells I have.
Okay.
I'm gonna ruin his day.
Yeah, and like the do not enter list is like a stone tablet. Like these names are carved in.
I look and I'm just like, it's fine. Don't even worry about it, lads. I'll just catch up with you later at the bar, right?
No, it's fine. I will vouch for him. If anything happens, I will take responsibility.
You know he's a stalker, right? Oh, that's why he's been stalking around.
he
I'll remind you.
Kane nods. He's like, yes, a stalker is exactly what we need for what might come.
Like
somebody who
a
could, yes,
Like a
Kane,
jaguar or
I
like
feel
a
he's-
panther.
He's been a bad influence on you. You can't be stalking the mages in the Mage Guild.
Hey, I tell you, look, they're the ones with the ability to teleport in my bedroom at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's none of my business. That's on them. Okay, you want to confirm that I have the right to my day in court, and until that time, I believe that we have business to attend to. So if we could just, wrap this up.
Tell you what, I'll send a runner upstairs to the big man. If
There's no problem at all.
He says you'll
Don't
come in. I'll let you all of you in. But Kane, you're going to be responsible for this one.
right. And I place a hand on Mickey. You're going to have your hands in your pockets the entire time.
I know that's part of the reason I wasn't allowed to come back last time. Look, don't worry about it. I'll be fine.
Right.
Does Darnak turn to look to like get a runner or someone?
No, he has his eyes on you.
Damn it!
The whole
I will get a runner.
He's dealt with you many times before. He goes, "Aye, boy," and you see like this younger dwarf run up, and he's got like braces and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, what can I help you with, mister?" And he's like, "Oh, go run upstairs and see if you can get him a permission slip." And he's like, "Oh, right away, sir." And he runs up. You're like him enter.
Permission slip. It's like being back at school.
And
I imagine.
yeah, and he's just crosses his arms, taps his foot, and he does take his eyes off for a split second to look at Rogan and goes, "Good to see you again, Rogan."
Aye, good to see you.
He looks
Keeping
back,
up
Mickey.
with your drinking, or what have you had lately?
Oh,
Any good
I've got a
brew?
really nice whiskey. Have you tried the Snow Grog whiskey? It's delicious.
I've not tried that. I heard they made that. They used water from elementals.
I
Brewed
didn't
it with that.
I didn't know you and Rogan knew each other. Is that a dwarf thing?
All dwarves know each
Okay,
other.
all right, okay. Listen here, all right? Just because we're dwarves doesn't mean we already knew each other, even though we've already known each other.
We've known each other for a while.
A while now. Because we were born in the same clan.
Yeah, well, look, you've been coming to the Mage Tower for what, like 30 years now?
Right, yeah. But
ever
it's not because we're already dwarves. But in this case, we're already dwarves. But it's not because they generally you can't just go saying that far now.
I'm so sorry, Master Dwarf.
Right. Sure. Anyway, go on with what you're saying about your snow grog
Oh,
whiskey.
the Snow Grog. You see, they go to the peak of the tallest mountain and they gather
Aye.
the snow for it, and that's what they use as the water to distill it. It's perfection.
Perfect. All right, I gotta try that.
Oh, here they got it at the Rock and Oliphant.
The what?
The Rock and Oliphant. Near the bar.
All right,
just
the place
down-
we were at. Yeah,
Aye.
aye. We were just there. I don't think we'll be back. But
I'll put in a word for you, though. You'll let you back in.
all right, good. Perfect. What about my friend?
And you went invisible, Mickey. Yeah.
Yep.
You see him, like, do you move at all?
Yes.
All right, you move, and he looks dead at you. That's how you got in the last time, Mickey. You didn't think I didn't learn?
Points to lantern of true sight.
Mickey
I do
reappears.
have one.
It's like, this is a breach of my rights, okay.
How? There's no way this is a breach of anyone's... You're a breach to the security of the Mages Guild.
I stole one staff one time, and I brought it straight back once, we had the incident. And that was all cleared up.
You sold it. You sold it, didn't you?
Hey, I had never heard of this necromancy business, all right? It's not my cup of tea. I happened to sell it to a honest-looking fella. Kind of looked like Tim, to be honest. I didn't sell you a staff, did I?
It was a very shady fucker. Oh, I hear the boy coming now, and you hear it. And he says, "Oh, so I've got a permission slip for you all." And he's like, "Oh,
what'll I tell you? Don actually wants to see me. What can I say? It's not your fault.
Seems Master Kieran does want to see you. Head on up. Keep an eye on that one." He whispers to Kane again as you guys walk by.
I have a 22 passive perception. I'm flipping the bird.
No. That's for archers. You use the 2 fingers. Right?
Right. Okay. You're right. That would mean he'd actually be good at something.
I only need the one.
For drinking, yes? Cupping the
It's not doing the little finger when he steps.
They're talking about this, and I just flashed
Flash your
the
gun.
butt end of the whole entire gun.
Oh, you have firearms. Right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Good to know.
This is something we have out here instead of photographic devices. We have guns.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Check and mate. And
Right. Guns. Fantastic. And he turns and he spins on his heels and he walks with his quarterstaff into the Mages Guild.
All right, you guys step into the Mages Guild. The younger dwarf, who is the runner, is kind of leading you up the spiral staircase up to one of the more upper levels of the tower. And you see, some of you may have seen him more often than others, Master Kieran of the Mages Guild. He is like a taller human, kind of a little portly, and he is sitting at his desk in his study. There are several chairs throughout. None of them are like you see the wooden chairs kind of pushed to the side. Those are like when the students get in trouble, they got to sit in like the the uncomfortable wooden chair. And like a nice couch and plush chairs are set up for you all. Oh yes, welcome to the Mages Guild. It's been quite some time since I've seen you all.
Kane walks in. We're looking for Morden Caden.
May I ask why you are inquiring as to the Master Morden Caden?
We were told to warn him about Vecna.
Don't just get saying that name around, his name's kind of power.
We're looking for we got to warn him about he who should not be named or whatever.
No. We were told to warn Morden Caden about Vecna.
Right.
Who told you about this?
Master Rory.
My brain.
My brain.
My brain.
And my brain.
And my brain.
6 months ago, I assume we all received letters. I did. Toombs did. Which
So did I.
gave us a bit of insight to a tomb where the Circle of Eight was carrying out a mission.
He kind of gives like a big, an exhausted sigh, kind of just rubs his temples a little bit. on his desk. Please, have a seat. You see, this is a great secret, you must understand. The Circle of Eight have gone missing approximately 6 months ago. We suspect dead.
Whoa. All of them have gone missing.
Yeah, all of them. It's quite a catastrophe. We haven't, we've been trying to keep it hush-hush. You know, the public knew it'd cause a panic. And of course, we don't want to create a panic, because if the peasants panic, well, then just society goes to hell.
That slimy bastard.
Yeah. And you see, the next thing we know is that, it's not unusual for them to be gone for months at a time. However, about 3 months ago, Mordenkainen just came and did some research in the library, I believe. He paid me a visit. He wanted to know everything that had been going on. You see, we've been having problems with divination magic lately. It's just not been working, and so the mage just went to the circle and they looked and investigated, but nothing's changed. In fact, if anything, it's just gotten worse. Nothing above, like, you know, anything a basic apprentice would know that divination works.
Have you had your walls painted recently?
No, we probably should. The color's getting a bit dull. It's so, like, 3 centuries ago.
Well, that rules out lead-based paint.
Where is Mordenkainen now?
Well, you see, I believe he left to try to figure out some things. However, I do have a method of communicating with him. It does need to be prepared, though. So, perhaps we should meet up later. And have a meeting with him.
Is there anything we can do in the meantime to help?
I'm sure you can
repaint your walls or anything?
If you wanted to repaint the walls, I could go for a lovely purple. But there's also the library at your disposal. Maybe you can, or since you all were such good friends with certain members of the circle, except for you, he points at Mickey. I suppose you could go through some of their offices, see if any notes were left behind, or have the keys.
All right, well, where's Jalrazi's room?
I'm not at liberty to give you that information. There's a restraining order, and you see it's like stapled to the wall behind him.
Do not admit this.
I reach down into my pants, not even into the pocket, and I pull out the restraining order and unfurl it, and I say, this is a restraining order again from her against me. I'm not allowed to be near her. It doesn't say anything about her possessions. Look, we're trying to find out. I need to find out where... I mean, she's kind of important to me, so if you could let us have free reign in a place so we can actually do our jobs, that'd be appreciated. I traveled 6 months to get here, and I turned down plenty of strange... Chop, chop.
Make me persuasion check. Oh, that laugh.
1 second.
Is she upstairs? Well, no. Okay, well then let me up.
Yeah, I've half a mind to go down and argue with the doorman again because she's not even here. Oh.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
Yeah, she hasn't signed the what's the order that you can't go onto like certain properties as well. That one hasn't gotten signed before she left yet.
That's a 21.
Well, you're not level 14 rogue. I'm like, you should have reliable talent, but not quite yet. So 21. Yeah, he's like, fine. Yeah, I suppose you did read the fine print. Yeah, fine. Here's the keys. Actually, you know, I'm just gonna go and unlock it for you personally. I don't need you making copies. And he says, follow me, I'll let you into their offices, and then you can peruse the library at your leisure. After I get off of work, later this evening, or actually...
I was being polite when I said, I know where her room is, I'm just asking for permission, and I'm going to walk off.
It is locked. You kind of like...
It was locked last time.
We had to change the locks, just please. Oh my goodness. Who's in charge of that one? He kind of looks at the rest of you three.
How far away is he?
Mickey's just striding off confidently, whistling to himself.
Just a walking pace, like, 10, 15 feet.
Kane was like, oh, right. I'm so sorry. And he pulls out a 1-foot pole out of his satchel, and he whispers to it, grow. And all of a sudden, this pole shoots out and taps Mickey on the shoulder.
I turn round.
Paid a nickel for every time mine did that.
I was going to say,
Oh, you're
And
one
I-
of those growers, not showers. I see.
I
Nice.
thought Sir Toon was called the Big Worm, right? Guess I was mistaken.
I would. He whispers a command word that causes it to shrink back. Stay. We go together.
What exactly are you expecting to happen when you take me up to her bedroom? Like, Kane, we just met. I'm not being funny, but I may have had, he like, holds the
2
bottle
bottles
up
of
to
wine
the
now.
I may have had quite a bit to drink, but I'm not that drunk.
No, you are my responsibility.
Oh, right. I turn to the greeter and I say, do you want to fill him in on what he signed himself up for? I'm going to be up in her room.
I hoped he knew what he was getting into. I'm going, and he like shuffles, but at this point he's like shuffled in front of you, and he's like trying to block the hallway a little bit. They're fairly narrow hallways, and he goes up and he unlocks the room first, and he goes, and then he shuffles off to the next
You must
door.
be so proud of yourself.
If you could unlock Rory's office, that would
Yes.
be most helpful.
He goes and there's like, a bunch of offices and stuff. He opens, unlocks the
Point
certain
me
doors.
to your
and-
purple hue. As well as the brushes, please.
He's like, I'll have it fetched from the basement for you. And the doors that lead to the offices of the people you knew are now open. So that would be Rary's, Odaluke's, Nistel's, and Jalarzi's room.
Before Kieran goes away, Toom asks him,
Yes.
Where did the circle go when they left?
Oh, they
The city.
don't divulge that information to me. Unfortunately, I'm not in the circle, and it was circle business. However, I believe it was somewhere in some foothills, if I recall overhearing a conversation correctly. I'm going to prepare the things that I will need to procure this meeting with Mordenkainen. I'll send for you to meet, your lot to meet at the Rock and Oliphant tomorrow for tea. We'll have the meeting then.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course. Keep an eye on that one. And he shuffles
I
back down the
look down at
stairs like,
Mickey.
I don't want to see, I don't want to know.
I look down at Mickey. Hands up. Like, reach for the sky.
You see 2 hands in the air. One of them's a mage hand. His other hand is rifling through a drawer. You caught me.
Look, we're here to gather information. We are not here to steal things.
Steal
Or-
things. What kind of petty criminal do you take me for?
I had 2 older brothers, thank you. I know exactly what you're rifling for. Get your hand out of her undergarments.
I hold up my hand with something hanging from it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Like, have you never heard of scrying? Oh, look, cat got your tongue. And I walk off. I'm like,
You're actually you are actually right. Yes, grab something personal, but maybe not her undergarments,
something that she wore close to her body that
or maybe
I
something
don't
with
need-
meaning, like a brush or a
believe
pendant.
me, this set she only wears for special occasions. Look, don't question my methods, my man, okay? In the meantime, have a look around, see if she left anything, any research books or... Is it just me or... I'm a bit weird that they've all just found... I mean, you ever meet anyone like the 8? Being serious for a second. I know
Have I
it's-
ever met anyone like the 8?
they were pretty...
They were powerful. Yes.
Someone who could keep him from just bamfing out of there. I mean, I know the doorman saw past my little trick, but those fuckers could do all kinds of crazy stuff. And Mordekainen himself, I mean, I only know the man by reputation, and
It seems that we need to find more information on this Vecna.
We should be very careful about who we speak that name to. We do not know who could be in his service.
So what should we call him as code word?
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin. Right. So those who know will know what pumpkin is, and those who don't know will think that we're talking about a gourd.
Precisely.
Wonderful. All right. And he
Just imagine you all walking up to Vecna and like, hey, pumpkin.
hey, pumpkin. Kane will approach her desk and see if he can just gently rifle through the drawers for any like recent research or anything dated
Yeah.
fairly recently.
Yeah, I'm also going to have a look around to see
All
if I
right.
can.
So you two are looking in Jalarzi's room. Where is Sir Toom and Rogan looking?
Sir Toom will check out Odaluk's room.
Okay.
Uh, Rogan at this time has taken out a small, maybe, I don't know, 18-inch egg, stone egg made with, it's got like various seams and such within it, as if it looks like a puzzle, like an abstract puzzle that was put together. He takes it out of one of his pouches and he puts it down and he pets it for a bit, and then like out of nowhere it cranes like this mechanical vulture's head out of it, and then two sides of the egg open up into wings, and then like out branch its little mechanical feet, and it just goes and like a very stony mechanical chirp. Rogan gives him the paintbrush, and he just sits there and starts looking, and like with his pipe on the lounge chair that they provided, and he's just watching, and as his mechanical vulture is painting the walls purple.
The walls purple.
Love it. Yeah, the footman had brought up some paint and brushes earlier. And yeah, the walls are getting painted. Love it. Alright, so let me see. What did y'all roll for investigation? Alright. So, Kane and Mickey, you find what appears to be a recently checked out, I say recently, looks like right before she left, checked out library book called Treatise on the Practice of Hidden Ones. And, ooh, let's see, we're looking in Odaluk's room. You find some notes on how frustrating it is that the divination magic's just not functioning like it's supposed to be right now. And there some methods he's tried to combat it, which have all kind of blew up in his face a little bit, but that's why they gave him the very heavily warded stone room underneath the tower, so that way if any experiments went wrong, nothing really bad happened. That's what happens when you try to use offensive magic to try to fix things. Rogan paints the walls purple.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. So.
That's right.
So, Kane will take the book, and he'll just kind of skim, just to get like a general, like concept of what the book is about.
Okay. Yes. Let me see. I'm skimming to where that book is. There we go. All right. So, you're reading about it, and this book is meant for the general public. It speaks about this Bishop Emphalis, whose descriptions of vile and wicked cults that a good man might fall prey to. He describes the cults and their evils as a sensationalist, the very fire and brimstone kind of style. But among these cults that he describes is the cult of Vecna. The cult of Vecna is basically, you get like, there's not a lot about it, but the general goals apparently is to corrupt man and get them to follow their demigod, their evil demigod Vecna, the Whispered One, who is basically a lich, is what you surmise from this. Not a lot of information, but I get a little bit.
I see. If my understanding of common is correct, and it is, this she was doing research into a cult to the Whispered One, who is a lich and who is also known as Pumpkin.
Right. So, this individual, I'm thinking if we get someone to scry on these, he says, holding up her underwear, and just says, we can assume if we can't see them that they're probably pretty close to him.
Yes.
We can't scry on him, which is bad news.
Yes.
If divination magic is failing, then scrying may prove difficult. And he'll hold up, and he's already started to crumple these papers, these notes he's taken in his mailed hand. Ottaluk had a room beneath the tower that was warded. Scrying may work best there. I do not know how this magic works.
Neither do I. Where
I've
I come
never
from, we had lithomancy, but that was the only type of magic that we were very versed in. Divination, yeah, we had diviners, but nothing like this.
I've never needed divination magic to find who I'm looking for before, so this is going to be a first. I say see if we can get someone here to do it for us.
I am going to see if there's anything useful in Master Rory's room.
No, I'm going to go get changed.
Changed into what?
He slips his bag off his shoulder, and there is a heavy metal clank on the floor.
Ah. Is that your what?
Well, it's not your mum's laundry list, I tell you that. So,
Is that a cod piece?
you know that fancy staff you have?
Yes.
Imagine what would happen if you tried to contain that behind a cod piece, and tell me if I'd really be that stupid. And I'm going to walk back off to her room, and I'm going to actually armor up, because I wasn't wearing armor up until this point, because hey,
you were chilling in the town.
I was here on a date.
Yeah.
Pumpkin has ruined my date, and I am pissed.
What do you do with the flowers you brought with you?
Pumpkin
I leave
block.
them on her pillow
Okay.
because I'm
God blocked.
Cod block.
God blocked.
Kane is just gonna go
Okay.
out and then go over to Rory's office.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's going to see if he can find anything.
All right. Yeah. Let's see. What did you roll?
The 6.
Oh, 6. You're looking through there. You do some digging. His room is very well organized. And let's see. You find like a list of books, and you find a book that appears to be recently checked out, but you can't read it. It appears to
Like
be
how
in
recent?
a different language. 7 months ago.
Okay. And what language would it be in?
Let's see. It actually says on the thing. If I just need to scroll over to it. Do. Come on, PDF. You can do it. Load. It is written in Old Oridan? We're gonna pick something else because I don't think that
I
makes
can't
sense.
pronounce that.
Yeah, I can't pronounce that. Let's
Lindy
say
doesn't have that language.
I don't speak this language, so it's going to be. I'm gonna roll a d6. It is written in Gnomish.
Son of a bitch.
I opened the book. I understand a few of these characters. Because gnomes use the same script as dwarves, except for certain nuances. But other than that, I don't know anything about Gnomish. They speak weird. Like this one says, To find what is hidden, you must go to tree. I don't think that is right. And he closes the book.
You can tell that the title of it, because it's written on the library checkout sheet, is called The Beasts of Humanity. And it's a pretty hefty book.
Oh. A bestiary. Wonderful. I hope I can find someone who can speak. No, you know what? I'm going to ask Master Dwarf. And he walks out of Rory's room and he goes to find Rogan. I don't know why I said Final Fantasy 14 race. Rogden. So I approach.
He's
Rogan.
supervising this odd creature. It appears to be made out of stone, and it's painting the walls purple.
Right there. Now, I want you to do a series of small M's, okay? Don't go up and down. If you go up and down, it's going to look like shit. Just go back and forth like a small M back and forth. You do that.
I can imagine Rogan has a high vis that he's got from somewhere and a hard hat someone's given him, and he's just...
Over there.
Is that a stone bird?
Right. Well, there's canvas as well.
I didn't know you were versed in lithomancy. Where did you study?
What? Sorry?
Is that not a magically animated bird?
Oh, that's not magic. No, that's just my own contraption there.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to assume. I thought it was magic.
No, come here. Come on. And it floats down, but it kind of falls and then catches itself before it lands. And you can see that there is a small air bladder towards the mouth with a little looks like to be I don't even know what would be not rubber here at this point, but I guess small two leather flaps that are very tied together right towards the roof of the beak here. Mm-hmm. And you see that when it lifts up its shoulders, it presses against this air bladder, making it chirp. You also see that there are various pulleys and mechanics inside the ribs of this creature that make the wings actually move back and forth. There's really nothing really about it that seems mechanical or magical. It's mostly just a very intricate mechanical creature.
This is a wonderful creation. I admire it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, you usually have a lot of time out in the wilds there when you're fending for yourself and when you're waiting for prey and all that. So what I do is I try to keep my hands busy,
I like to keep my hands busy as well when I'm waiting. Do you know Gnomish?
Your poll earlier. Do I what?
Sorry. Do you know Gnomish?
All right. So now you're thinking because I'm a dwarf. And dwarves apparently know each other, which is not necessarily all possible, but in fact it was earlier because we did in fact know each other previously. But you're thinking now that because I'm a dwarf, I know Gnomish.
It was more geographically speaking. Do you and stone gnomes live amongst each other?
I mean, maybe.
See,
I'm a hill dwarf, so I'm not sure where you're trying to get all this gender.
I'm sorry. Where I come from, we deal a lot with elves and dwarves, so we learn Elvish and Dwarvish as second and third language, so we can communicate with them. I just thought that maybe you would have a secondary language other than. Do you know Gnomish or not?
No. Wait, hold on. Let me see. What is it here?
It's a bestiary.
Right. Let me see it. I'm
handing it to her. Him. I'm handing it to him.
He's got you all confuscated.
Thank you for using my pronoun. All right. So I flip through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, yeah, this is definitely not goblin.
I know it's Gnomish. I've only come across a few Gnomish tomes. They use the same script as Dwarvish, but the nuances are a little weird. I guess I need to find someone who can translate it. You know what? We're in a college full of mages. Someone definitely would know the comprehend language spell. I'm going to go search for them.
What are you looking for there? What are you even doing? You're not
This-
helping. I'm trying to get this wall painted for the people here, the nice people, and you're
Well,
reading.
we have a book of the Cult of Pumpkin, and he hands
what's that?
Rogan the book on the Cult of Vecna.
It says the cult of Vecna right on it right here.
Right, yes. It's about the Cult of Pumpkin.
Still not following you.
He
This
wasn't
is
there.
this.
Oh, you weren't there. Being Mickey and Toombs and I have come up with a nickname, so we don't say his name around ears that might, be working for him. So his code name is Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so let me see this book of Pumpkin.
I and the book of Vecna.
Okay. What is so great about this here?
Well, they talk
50
about
pages.
this bishop who talks about the cult of the Whispered One, and I didn't read it in full. I skimmed it.
Skimmed it.
I
Right.
really. But if you would like to read it while your contraption is painting, that would be.
I don't like reading.
You don't like reading.
No, I don't like it. I think it's a waste of time. I'd rather be working on things like painting or something, or doing something with my hands, or having it do the work. But is there what do you need help looking for stuff? I could help you with that.
Yes, we're looking for anything
looking
that
for?
might tell us where they had gone. And this book, the bestiary, was in Master Rory's room, so I assume that it has meaning.
Aye, probably does. All right, well, why don't you ask around for that comprehend language spell and try to see if you can get rid of this gnomish whatever and get that deciphered, and I'll go look around in my buddy Nistul's room then. How about that? You keep doing your thing, all right, buddy?
And it, as it tries to fly again, as it makes a really weird, weak chirp sound, passes for vulture.
That is an adorable contraption. As he walks out and he begins yelling through the halls, "Comprehend language! I need a comprehend language!"
So you're yelling through the halls. At the same time, you like enter into the library. Like you almost forgot the library was just like right below on the next floor, and you get like 12 people going, "Shh."
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking for someone who can comprehend languages.
Like a halfling, young halfling lady mage. She kind of walks up. She goes, "Oh, can I help you?"
Yes, I have a bestiary in Gnomish. I don't know Gnomish, but I would like to know what this book is about. This was in Master
Well-
Rory's room.
There are a couple options open to you. We've got some lovely Gnomish for beginners books over here, and also we have we also have Gnomish for dummies if beginners is too advanced for you.
I'm more looking for somebody who could just read it and tell me. I don't have enough time to
well,
look.
We're all very busy, but let me tell you, make me a persuasion check.
This is for the safety of Master Rory. He could be dead.
I'm sure. Well, I'm sure he's just fine. But I'll tell you what. I'll give you a scroll so you can stop buggering people in the library. All right? And she kind of like goes over, looks on this like it's like a wall of scrolls. She pulls it out. This is a scroll of comprehend languages. Use it well. It'll last for about an hour. And
Wonderful.
if that's not enough time, then you're gonna get Gnomish for dummies. All right? Just
Okay, thank
Alright.
you. And he turns to the
Hooked on
library.
Gnomish.
Hooked on
And-
gnomish. Yep.
He yells very in a booming voice, Sorry, I got the comprehend. Oh, I'm sorry. I got the comprehend language scroll. And he like walks back to meet up with the group.
All right. So meanwhile, while that was going on, I believe Rogan was looking in Nistel's room.
Hey, that's
Information.
where I am.
Okay.
Hey,
Give me a good old investigation check. All right.
here you are.
So you're looking through. His room is fairly well organized. You see like his journal, and that appears to really be the only thing that was somewhat recently within the past 6 months used. Like he hasn't checked out any library books recently. It seems that he'd been having strange dreams in conjunction with frustration with divination magic not working. Like, just, like, he was dreaming of darkness, but that there was something in the darkness. It wasn't, like, not dreaming at all. It was just everything was dark.
Okay. All right.
Felt like he was being watched while he slept, kind of thing.
Okay. Watched while slept. All right.
That's all you
I
find,
go and-
really.
Yeah, I'll go and relay that.
Is that room underneath the tower, Autoluk's room that was mentioned in his letters, is that open? Is that accessible?
Yeah, that would have been one of the just basic like experimental rooms, like where you go to experiment with magic. So it'd be open, but if he wanted, he got like first like priority usage of that room. So
It's
where
like a
lot of-
sign out sheet.
Yeah, basically. So you could go down there, no problems. It is open. There's currently no one using it at the time.
And Tomb on his way after he's done sort of checking out Aluk's room as he's passing by Rogan and any of the others who have come back will say, I go to look into Ataluk's experimental magic room.
Wonderful. I just procured a scroll of magic. I'm not very versed in casting magic, but I guess I could give it a try. And what better way to try it than in an experimental magic room?
Kane, are you stealing now?
No, I went to the library and I talked to this very nice halfling librarian. And I said, I need to know gnome fast. And she said, here's a scroll. And I said, thank you. And I left.
I need to gnome. I need to gnome, baby girl. All right.
I need to know. Can you teach me?
I sigh and say, well, if we're going to the experimental magic room, count me in. You notice that Mickey's changed into his breastplate armor, and it's pretty dented and scarred from hard use. And we doing anything else while we're in there? I mean, it's kind of a...
I don't know who you take me for, Mickey, but I have had zero to drink, and I don't understand what you expect to be happening in there.
It's an experimental magic room. I mean, come on. You've never been... Actually, I'm going to ignore that entirely. Maybe we should just head on down.
Once when I was younger, as he walks away.
I'm not judging.
Please, Mickey, bring the undergarments.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look, I just happen to have them with me. He says,
I stop and I turn. Were you wearing them?
like, was I wearing them? Not today, no.
Oh, okay. As he walks, continues to walk.
Does Rogan follow, or is he just supervising painting?
No, Rogan follows her.
Okay,
He
cool.
keeps the bird doing it.
Yeah.
Keep doing your thing there. You're doing great. Yep, that's right.
All right, so you all head down to the experimental magic rooms.
Maybe switch to W's and not M's over time. You'll get bored, I know. I'll be back.
Maybe just paint W's upside down.
That's an idea. Do that.
Bulletproof.
All right. You head down. It's basically the basement. It's very reinforced. Man, you can practically feel the magical wards radiating to keep a bit of wild magic contained if it were to happen. This is where new spells are invented, spells are tweaked and experimented with. You find the sign-out sheet for the room that Odaluk would have used frequently. It's the most reinforced and thoroughly heavily barricaded room in this vicinity. As you walk down, you see some, like, the divination rooms. You can tell they're divination rooms because they've got, like, pools of water in them, crystal balls, that kind of thing. You see just a bunch of frustrated students in there. And, like, some kind of sweating, like, like, master mages. They're kind of like, oh, it's not working. Maybe we should just try again tomorrow. And you get to the end of the hall, and you enter the room. No one is currently in there. And it appears that Odaluk last used this room a little over 6 months ago. You slip back through the backlog.
Have a lot of people been in since then?
It appears that about the same people who would normally use it have used it. Like, you look at, like, the log entries before, the log entries after. It's had about the same amount of traffic.
Pretty normal.
Yeah.
Is there, so as Tomb is sort of like slowly looking through the logbook, he's looking for maybe a name or names that pop up frequently, like they frequently use this room.
Sure thing. Let's give me an investigation check just to see how fast you can find this information.
He actually like tears one of the pages and he has his gauntlets on, and so like he's just almost destroying this logbook as he's looking through it.
No. Alright, you're ripping through these pages. Literally.
None of this seems to be of any use, and slams it back down.
Yeah. Anyone like looking over his shoulder, probably. They would have maybe seen Tobin logged in a little bit more often than some other people. Tobin Potriades.
Tobin.
Yeah, and the chamber's open if anyone wants to go inside of it. And there's like the spine is ripped a little bit on the logbook, but it's still intact.
Mickey walks in sort of with glee and sort of looks around, grinning to himself as he's never been allowed in here before.
Yeah, no. You usually never make it this far.
We're in the experimental magic room, is that where we are?
Yes.
Nice.
So this is where they come to experiment. I've heard about this place. Some interesting things. What are we looking for exactly?
You know that there was a mage once who wrote their thesis on the many uses of mage hand in a room quite like this.
It wasn't exactly like this. I wrote it like in a like it was in a tavern. It was. I'll sign it for you if you want, Lindy. Anyway, what exactly did we come here to do other than make sure that Kane didn't blow himself up?
The letter that Odaluk left in his room suggested that he had been using this particular room to investigate the curse or whatever it is on divination magic, the obstruction.
So,
are you capable of divination magic?
No. I don't do anything like that. I'm not a creep.
I thought that is why you took the undergarments.
No, I took it because we're in a mage's tower, and if there isn't someone around here that can cast divination magic, then I'm going to be honest, it's a pretty shitty mage's tower.
Kane nods as he turns and he walks down the hallway to the augury rooms.
Yeah.
And he shouts in to the students and the masters. We are looking for a diviner who can divine a pair of undergarments so we may find a woman.
You see, like, there's two, like, teenage guys in, like, wizard trainee robes, and they kind of just, like, look at each other, and then they kind of, like, look at, like, the lady wizard who's instructing them. She just crosses her arms. You want to do what?
Well, you see, my friend Mickey Cartwell said that we need to find Mistress... what is
Jalarzi, he's always looking at her.
I come around
the
the corner.
there's a restraining order against that kind of thing.
Miss Lassetti, you're looking absolutely gorgeous today, might I add. All right, thank you.
They let
Big
you
fan
in.
of you guys.
That's bad.
Wouldn't you know it? I'm sure you're happy to see me. Look,
Overjoyed.
we're just looking to get things done a little faster. You see, I brought flowers and they're spoiling, so
She could be dead.
this is true.
Something about Vecna.
Pumpkin. Something about he's foreign. He's not so good with language and words and stuff. Look, I
Hold
understand.
on one moment. I know it's hard for you to shut your mouth, but just keep it closed for a moment. And she goes looks at the two younger kids who are kind of just like looking at each other like, who's that? And she's like, "You're dismissed. Go do your studies now." And they're like, "Yes, ma'am." And they run out. And she's like, "She has been missing for some time. Yes.
So we'd really appreciate it if you could assist us with this, because I mean,
I can attempt, but there is something interfering with divination magic currently.
Oh, we're also investigating that as well.
Yes,
My
appreciate
compatriot
it if you could figure it out.
Tomb
Very
says that there's a curse. Might need yourself a priest.
Yes, we've consulted priests. In fact, we've actually been working quite closely with the local high priest of Bacob. Maybe you should go talk with him if you're so interested in helping him about it.
he's not in town, is he?
High priest Ravel? Ravel doesn't, yes, he's in town.
Does he have a daughter about 18, sort of?
I wouldn't know.
We're probably fine, Kane. Look, if we can speed this along and you can get back to looking as fine as
I will attempt it. Let me see the item. You really couldn't grab anything else from her room.
I hand it to her and I say, of all the diviners, there's none as divine as you.
Yes,
We really appreciate this.
Yes, old talk.
That's so wonderful.
Yes. Just gonna just.
I did recommend that he grab a pendant or a brush, but he was very adamant that those special undergarments are very near and dear to her heart.
It's the only thing that I know she's
Sure, they're
worn.
near and dear to something. And she kind of just drops it into, like, the little divination pool. And it sends out, like, a ripple.
Is there any way of moving that? We were going to try it in the other room with the wardings and everything.
No, this room
Alone
should-
by
this
ourselves
room-
without anyone around.
Yes. I'm sure you were. The room where no one can hear you scream. Anyways, we are going to do it in this room since this is the main divination chamber, and if it's going to have any chance of success, this would be the room in which it would be successful. So, and she kind of starts tracing out some runes around the edge of the pool of water, and I need one of you. Let's have Mickey roll it, because he's the one closestly associated with the person in question that we're trying to scry. I need you to roll me a D100 for me.
1D100?
Mm-hmm.
That is a 66.
You see, she traces out the runes. You feel like the tingle of magic in the air. She kind of starts glowing a little bit. Her glasses take on like that super cool anime like blinding sheen as she like channels the magic. And you see, most of you have probably seen a scrying at some point in time. You're level 14. You've seen stuff. And you see her go cast the entire spell, and then let's see here. All of you are in the room?
Yeah.
No,
No.
Oh, well.
I'm still in the experiment thing because you're like I'm gonna walk out, and I was like, man, I'll just wait here.
Okay, cool. Everyone is going to take 7 points of force damage as a shockwave reverberates from the scrying pool, and you all kind of get knocked back a little bit. She goes, ugh. She adjusts her glasses. Third time that's happened this week. Well, it seems it was unsuccessful this time. Again.
It just blew up in your hand. That's... Hey, I wasn't actually making a joke that time. That's...
I'm
fucking
sure you weren't. Now, you see, like, she pulls it out of the scrying pool and it kind of, like, It's like smoke's kind of rising from it, and it's got like some holes in it. Here you are.
I'll take it back.
I don't want it.
Alright.
I don't think you're going to be able to wear that, Mickey.
Hey, I told you, I have no intention of wearing it. She's not even here. What would be the point? Look, the point is that whatever this is, I mean, Lisetta's not exactly, well, fond of me, but she's one of the best I know.
It's true.
And if this... Do you know any other way that we might be able to track them? We need to figure out where it was they were going. One of them must have kept notes or something.
Well, again, we've been working very closely with the House of Bacab to see if they can use their holy divination magic instead of the arcane type. When, well,
There's nothing more holy than these now. Put them in my pocket and...
Kane's like, ha!
He's learning. He's not from around here. He doesn't get humor so good. But
I'm certain. Well, if you could, the arcane divination didn't work, and I'm not going to try again for you. At least not until things get dire. You can try to words. You can try to use some holy divination magic, as its source is based differently. Divination has been very on the fritz lately, you could say. So, I wouldn't expect too terribly much.
You do not know why.
No, I believe some of the members of the Circle of Eight, that is what they set out to investigate. I believe Mordenkainen's on it as well.
Ah, we are looking for Mordenkainen. Do you know where he is?
I last saw him when he popped in about 3 months ago to get some books from the library.
Damn.
And who is managing the Circle's affairs now that they are all missing?
Well, currently, there is a hierarchy to the Mage Academy. Myself, and of course Master Kieran, and a few others. You see, Tobin, he's involved as well. It's mostly us three.
I think Rogan walks in at this point. All right, so it doesn't seem like you're coming back.
We were just coming back. We were just having the panties scried.
Right. Having another meeting again. Are we going to call somebody else a different name now that I should know about?
I like him.
You
Not
like
that I
him?
know.
I turned to Rogan. I'm like, she's a prude. You won't get anywhere.
What?
Speaks sense.
Prudent. It's prudent for us to expand our group and call on experts. Look, has any of you found any notes that might tell us exactly where they've gone? Because they don't like sharing secrets.
And I pull out the
It's not
book.
in our nature. We don't share secrets.
This is about the cult of Pumpkin. And he hands it to Mickey.
That means Vecna.
I know what it means.
You weren't there for the meeting. I wasn't either. Don't worry about it.
All right.
I opened the time to look through, and we need someone who can read this. You want to give it a crack?
Oh, yes. And he pulls out the scroll of comprehend languages.
If you all are going to do things, could you please not do it in my scrying chamber?
Oh, I'm sorry, miss.
It's not the first time she said that to me. Come on.
I do have things to do. I work here.
Yes, we're trying to save the Circle of Eight.
Yes, I'm doing it as well, but in my own way that does not involve you interfering with my business affairs. Yeah, please. I have students to instruct.
I'm sorry.
Hindering classes.
I-
People, they pay a high price for tuition to come here. You know that, right?
To learn how to make water explode? As he like kind of sidles out.
I like clasp Kane on the shoulder. I'm like, there's hope for you yet. Right. Come on, let's get this show on the road.
So we go back to the experimental room. Kane opens up the scroll of comprehend languages. He reads it. The scroll says insert here. And he doesn't understand. And he kind of like places his thumb on the scroll.
Scroll
And-
to the comprehend scroll.
And he casts comprehend language on himself.
All right, make me an
Through the
Arcana
scroll?
check. See how well this goes. A 9. So
Wow.
you're reading the scroll and you're stumbling over a lot of the words. You read it and you're like, nothing happened. All right, let me try it again. And you're like, all right, maybe if I change the pronunciation of this, and you read it and nothing happens. But on the third time, you read it and it kind of makes like a weird like popping noise, like.
Like
And-
Goldilocks.
Yeah, and you read it. It looks a little wavery, but you got the spell off.
Oh.
And you can read the book. The book that is titled. I scrolled away from it. I believe it was something about beasts.
Beasts.
Yes. Hold on.
Fantastic beasts and where to find
Beasts,
them.
the beasts of
That's it.
humanity. So this
The,
work,
the most dangerous
Yes.
human himself.
basically, that's basically
that's
the
it. It's a
premise
whole
of this book. So you're probably skimming to try to get, because it's a pretty thick book. This work is basically a rambling encyclopedia of the horrid perversions of mankind. Described therein are the many fascinating monsters, all once human, but now twisted, some accidentally and some purposefully by powerful magic. Lineages of several family curses is outlined. Something about a von Zarovich, something else about, just other family lines. The practices of
Vampires.
secret-
Lycanthropes.
yeah, lycanthropes. All sorts of different curses. But you see, there's also the practices of secret cults, certain ones. Among them, you see a mention of the eye and the hand. They are identified as important tools of an unknown cult, symbolically associated with the founder of the religion which the cult revolves around. That's the only thing that really interests you. And you like the way that it was worded, of an unknown cult symbolically associated with the founder of religion and whispers thereof. The whispers is what caught your eye on that one.
I found it. By Ziamid, I have found it.
The hell?
What? What have you found?
We are looking for an eye and a hand of the Whispering Cult, which is the cult of Pumpkin. So I assume we're looking for one of their hands or eyes, or Pumpkin's hand or eye.
To
But
what
what?
ends?
I don't know. I just learned Gnomish in less than a minute.
I know kung fu.
I know Tung Fu. Show me. Gumball. Anyway. Yeah. So he basically relays all that information to the party about about the stuff about the eye and the hand.
Yeah, basically that there is a hand and an eye, something about a hand and an eye associated with the secret some secret cult.
I think we should go back to the library and see if they have any other books written in
Came
languages.
from the library.
I know, but I did not know that I needed a hand and an eye.
And there is also this high
have
priest
two
of
of
the
each,
Cobb.
Oh, he might know about the hand and eye, so we might not need to go to the library.
And he may know more about this divination magic problem.
He might know how to break the curse.
Well, that would certainly be good. I mean,
Aye.
it's not the first time we've had to go to a priest to get rid of a curse. We should probably get cracking on that.
Right. I take the books and I place them into my satchel.
My intelligence.
I'm going to take these with us. We might need them for
Did you
later.
say
Check them out.
Bacab?
Huh?
You say Bacab, yeah? Aye.
Yeah, we're going to see the priest of Bacab.
Now,
Right.
has anybody thought of this here? And I don't mean to speak ill of any sort of deity here, but have anybody seen the symbol of Bacab?
I've not seen the symbol of Bacab.
Well, we passed it on the way in. There was so it's a pentagram or a pentagon, all right?
Mhm.
Five sides. Within is an eye. I'm not saying anything here, but maybe.
That is most illuminating.
That's what I'm trying to say here. Maybe there's something, with that. I mean, it's 5 fingers, eye, 5 sides. I don't want to start anything, but I think maybe we should probably go check on this guy. He probably knows what's up.
All right. We will. And Kane just smiles. We will.
Ever the conspiracy theorist. Rogan.
Love it.
So, right. This high priest. Any religious folk exactly?
No.
What?
I do believe in the God King Ziomed, the first emperor, and wielder.
Where are you from?
I'm from a hamlet 70 miles south of here.
By all that is holy, please stop talking. Right? We need to get rolling then and see what we can do about finding out more about this. I'm with Rogan on this one.
I Pentagon, and I as in yes.
Yes.
All of them.
Now we have a meeting for the next day, right? Like, we're supposed to meet Kieran the
For
next
tea.
morning.
Yeah, for tea
Okay.
time the next afternoon at the Rock and All Defunct.
I'm so glad you remembered that.
Is that with Mordenkainen?
Yeah, he said he could arrange to contact Mordenkainen.
So he's actually, is Mordenkainen meeting us at the tavern? Because
You don't know. He's arranging communications with Mordenkainen.
Right. Okay. In which case, yeah. Guess do we head out?
All right, you all head out.
So are we hitting up the priest today?
By the time you head out, it is evening time.
Oh, definitely hit up the priest today. He's probably out of his vestments and might even be down the pub.
Right.
There are many different colored lanterns lining the streets. People are outside sipping warm mead, mulled wine. It's a cold, snowy day. But the
You said
festival...
mulled wine.
Mulled wine. Mulled wine. It's delicious. And you see that several of the temples still have lights on in them inside of the city because even though it's not a holy holiday per se, a lot of them take part in the festivities to welcome in the new year. And it is a week long, so it's a good excuse to get people to come into the temple.
I look to the others as we're traveling along and I say, so the dwarf knows how to twirl his guns round and
On my way out, I pack up the contraption into the egg again.
Okay,
and put it in there.
the whole wall of all the walls were painted purple by the time you guys left. It was immaculate.
You're welcome.
You were sure not to
thank
use lead paint, correct, Rogan?
I'm sorry.
Lead paint would interfere with divination magic.
What time is it? We should probably get going to that.
as we head out, I look to Kane and say, so what exactly is your deal? Like, you...
I am a retainer. I'm also a monster hunter.
You straighten teeth.
No. I protect people.
Sorry.
I've been known to protect the occasional lord now and then.
Okay.
I've protected many royals, but I mostly deal with hunting monsters in the supernatural.
Okay, that's handy. And Tomb, other than just your amazing expressions, what exactly do you do?
I too am a hunter. I hunt mages, cultists. That is how I knew the circle.
Right. And Rogan...
I hit things very hard.
Okay. Just trying to get the caliber of who I'm traveling with here. And Rogan, you just... Yeah.
I'm a hunter. Yeah, we get it. I'm a hunter. Like everyone else. But I'm really a hunter. What have you fought?
as I like point to Sir Toom. Huh?
Mages, cultists.
You got their heads hanging on your wall, do you?
I do not keep the heads. They rot and smell terrible.
And
Yeah,
you're
I
not a
know.
hunter, my friend.
We wouldn't want you to start smelling terrible. He says, like, remembering the worms, like the odor coming off Satomi. He's just like, of course, nothing that would cramp your style. And
And you're not a hunter then. You, my friend, are a murderer. All right, let's move. The
I
temple's this way, I believe.
put spirits to rest.
you have a drinking problem.
No, I like, if you have a haunted house, I go in there and I stop it from being haunted.
You're a con artist. Fantastic.
No, like if there's a werewolf ravaging your cattle, I get rid of it for you.
You get rid of my cattle.
No, the
You
werewolf.
know, look like a con artist here.
Good.
Yes, I am a con artist. You have caught me. Here is my loot. Ding, 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 and he pulls out a loot.
I take it.
That was my loot.
I begin to walk away.
You took my loot.
Oh, I should introduce myself. My name's Mickey, and I'm a thief. And I walk off.
Maybe he's just tuning it. As he walks with the group.
All right, you guys walk towards the Temple of Bakab.
Aye.
All right, you walk in. The temple is open. You see many priests and priestesses there. With like decanters of incense and in prayer. Others are, giving out gifts of food and warm drink to the poor and, homeless of the city. Basically, just doing some good. Their lights are on late into the evening too, because everyone's out late because it's the week of celebration. It's Need Fest. That's what it's called.
Is Bakaba a popular deity in the Free City?
There is a rather large following of Bakab. Bakab is his domain is basically knowledge and magic, a little bit of trickery, but mostly knowledge and magic, so they get along quite well with the Mages Guild. A lot of the wizards and magic users of the city tend to follow him. And yes, his symbol is an eye inside of a pentagon. You see that above the door as you all enter.
I knew it.
I bounced on a
I
pedestal.
told you. I told you. Like, look at that there. Conspiracy ideology.
That is an unsettling symbol. I feel like it is watching me.
So you guys walk in, and you see what appears to be the... She has, like, a little bit nicer vestments than some of the others. A little gnome lady. She's... Well, like, gives a little loaf of bread to some orphan kids, pats them on the head, and they skip off. She goes, "Oh, greetings. How can I help you? With Cobb's blessing be upon you all. Have you come here
Aye.
to pray?"
This is the most adorable creature ever.
Says a gnome. We were looking for one of you earlier. We had something that we needed you to be read. What is your name in case we ever need anything read ever again?
Oh, my name is Clarice.
Clarice,
All
you're
right.
looking fantastic this evening. We were actually looking for someone in particular.
Okay, and who might that be?
Wait. Oh, that one dude that I read
One
about.
dude.
Enphalis. He was a bishop of Bakab, right?
Oh, many years ago, yes, he was. Several centuries.
Oh, so he's dead.
Yes.
Can we contact his spirit?
That's a rather interesting request.
Kane probably can. He's a con man.
I
He knows
am,
what a con man is.
I am a con man. I do.
He contacts people. He's
I
a con man.
Yes.
A contact. Okay. The current high priest is in prayer and fasting right now. High Priest Ravel Dassender. But I'm sure maybe we can try a seance with the spirit you're trying to contact.
Yes, Bishop Emphalis. He's the one who
Emphalis,
he's the one who wrote the book about the cult of the Whispering One and the followers of Pumpkin.
Pumpkin. It means Vecna. It means Vecna
Oh,
for you.
good
Not a part of our group.
heavens.
Now you're a part of our group.
Oh.
Vecna is Pumpkin.
Okay. All right then. Give me All right. Let's just walk over here so we're not right in the entrance of the temple.
We don't want any prying eyes to look at us. And I just blankly, or like, look
Yeah,
at
she's
the
got her
symbol of
holy
the temple.
symbol, like, right there. And she's just like, oh,
Mm.
now.
Could you? I'm sorry. Could you take your pendant and flip it over? I don't like it staring at me.
This is my holy symbol of Bakab.
I'm sorry. If you were a
And he's superstitious, okay? So he doesn't necessarily get. It's just a.
I've had enough eyes on me to last me a lifetime.
I lean in and I say he had a troubling childhood, okay? He went through some stuff.
He's not from here. He's a
I
foreigner. Look at
I
him.
was born in a hamlet 70 miles south.
fucking.
Really south.
70 miles, apparently. Okay. So you wanted to, what did you come here for exactly again? You wanted to do a seance, and I hope that there's no cults here, sir. If you are affiliated with some dark magics, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Sweetheart, listen to me. You're getting yourself all worked up over nothing. Look, have a seat. And Mickey's gonna just lean back and just say, "We're not looking for a cult around these parts. Don't worry about it. You see, my brothers here and we're."
You're
Something-
all related.
We are
She
not
looks
related.
Like
I'm a
half
dwarf.
elf, like masked man, human
We're-
dwarf.
We're brothers in a common cause. We're looking to assist the local town. You see, there's been some trouble of late, and well, we're looking to reassure the people. You know what that's like. I mean, I've seen all the good work that the church here does, and I have nothing but the most utmost respect for everything you're trying to achieve. All we're trying to do is make sure that as you keep these people fed, that they're not falling into the wrong hands. People who are in trouble, people who don't have anyone else to turn to, are coming to the right place here, and they're not wandering into, well, Machiavellian, charismatic, twisted individuals. So really, we're just doing a local check. It's nothing to worry about at all.
Yes, we also are trying to save the Circle of Eight. They could be dead.
Trust him. He's a con man.
Could you make me a persuasion check?
Can I versus him on trying to play down what he's saying?
Yeah, I was going to give you advantage, but then he was like, "Yeah, the Circle 8, they might be dead." So
What is with Roll20 Quantum Roller? This is the second 9 in a row that I've rolled.
All right. I also want Mickey to give me persuasion.
Persuasion. That's a 27.
She kind of looks really alarmed for a second over at Kane, and then you just smooth it all.
Yeah,
over.
I just look, sweetheart. What he means by that is they're dead busy at the moment. You know, the 8. I mean,
Oh,
come
they're
on,
very
man.
busy. Yes.
You know, I mean, do you know them personally at all?
Oh, no, I've never met them. I'm not that
I could
important.
put in a word if you want.
Oh no, that's all right. I'm good here, just at the temple. But you needed help with something. What can I help with? Sorry,
Well, we're
I'm really
looking for-
flustered there. It was very
It's no
disconcerting. Something
How
about
about
pumpkins?
How about a glass of wine? And
Oh.
I'm gonna pour her a glass of wine.
I mean, I really should. Oh, but it is a holiday, I suppose. Okay, all right, it's just a sip.
So we were.
Yep.
Yeah, so we were looking for a seance, someone who could contact spirits that have passed on to a better place, the place of our Lord.
Or a quiet room.
Right, because he could do it. He's a con man.
All right. Yes, we do have some side chambers for those who want to be in deep meditation, or for those who wish to, make any confessions or anything, get things off their conscience. I could guide you to one of those rooms, no problem.
That'd be most appreciated, darling.
Right this way, please. And
She will lead you all off to one of these side rooms. It's nicely lit with some candles. There's incense burning, a small altar with the holy symbol above it, and pillows to sit on.
Second she turns her back, I punch Kane in the arm.
Ow.
What are you doing?
I am telling people that
You
we are
need
on.
to stop talking about the Hamlet and mentioning Pumpkin's real name, or we are seriously going to fall out on this trip. Do we understand each other?
Right, but I was truly born in a hamlet 70 miles south of this city.
I am going to tell you that if you ever walk into a church and mention that name again, seeing the reaction that we just got, I am going to give you a personal lesson in some of the fucked up things that the Mage's Tower do in that experimental room. Do you understand?
Oh, of course. Yes.
Not the fun kind of lesson. Read between the lines for once. And Mickey just drinks from the bottle, just... Oh my god, like I'm gonna die on this trip.
Outside the room, before Tomb follows the others in, probably while this is happening, he'll reach out and put a hand on the the cleric as she's passing by, and he'll say, "Divination magic, does it work for you and yours?"
Well, there is been a bit of a I believe that maybe the gods aren't very happy with some activities of certain chapels,
And she kind of like looks like and narrows her eyes down and out the street at like a temple in the distance.
but who's to say the will of the gods? And it's been a bit tricky lately, yes. But we
Can
have had
your-
a higher success rate than some of the mages have lately. Our high priest has been working very closely with Mistress Gisela of the Mages Academy.
When will he be available? We must see him very soon.
I could make you an appointment.
We do not have time for an appointment. After we finish here, we must see him.
Oh, is this a very pressing matter then?
It is a matter of life and death.
Okay, I can see if he's busy this evening. I know he's in fasting and prayer right now.
Can you make me a persuasion check? Let's just see how.
He's still holding
Or
on to her, and he
intimidation.
started to squeeze her arm
Yeah, you
as
can
he's
make me
speaking.
an intimidation if you'd like.
Let's do that.
Persuasion or intimidation. She's like, oh, okay. And she's like tiny compared to you. She's like 3 feet tall.
Yeah, 22.
I will see if I can get him as soon as you all are done with this chamber. I'm gonna go now. It's right here. Okay, bye.
And she
Thank you.
scurries off.
And you'll release her and head on in.
Okay.
I look to the group. I need some privacy for what I'm about to do.
Okay. Can we just all get
I
on the
gotcha.
same page here?
I don't know where we are.
Threaten people. We're not here to scare the living shit out of people. What is wrong with you, bunch of psychopaths?
They should be scared. If anything,
Do you know what happens when people get scared, Kane? Do you know what happens in the streets when there is a festival going on and there is a large amount of alcohol around? These people will cut each other apart and eat each other. That is the kind of chaos you're inviting. Now, I'm all for a good time. Don't get me wrong. We need to seriously play this shit down. Do we all understand that before we go picking up gnomes and threatening people and yelling certain names?
of course.
Pumpkin.
I'm so sorry.
I am with you on Pumpkin.
I'm with you on
You are
Pumpkin.
with me on... I'm going to need a priest in a minute. Somebody just go and do something productive, please.
Wolves here
Kane
are fine
kind of like, while all this is happening, he's kind of ushering you guys out the door, and he enters the chamber and he closes the door. I will be just a minute.
Just a minute. Don't
Just-
come in.
Don't come in.
Don't knock. Don't come in.
Don't come in.
I drape a sock on the door so like no one goes in.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh my gosh. All right.
and Kane is going to take a moment and walk into the the middle of the room.
All right.
He blows out all of the candles,
All right.
and he removes his sword from his back, and he kind of kneels down on it as if praying. And he whispers to it, "Souls of the fallen, Nezabok calls you to heal." And he's going to consult the spirits.
Okay.
So at the 10th level, I gain the ability to consult with the spirits. When you do, I can cast the augury or clairvoyance spell without using a spell slot or material components, rather creating a spherical sensor. This use of clairvoyance, invisibly summons one of the spirits to the chosen location. Wisdom is your spellcasting ability for these spells. Okay, so I guess I'm casting augury. Is the spell I want to be?
Augury is like the yes, no, maybe, kind of like the advice one.
Yes. And he summons this old gentleman.
Yeah, you can receive an omen about a specific course of action you plan to take. It says for the next 30 minutes, but I'll waive that here. This is ancestral spirit stuff. And you will get some possible omens based on the advice you receive.
When he summons the spirit takes the form of this frail man. He's in what looks like to be Egyptian garb. Like he has no shirt, but he has that big, thick necklace kind of deal. His cowl is his cowl and helmet is in the shape of an owl kind of deal.
Okay, very cool.
An owl cowl.
Yeah.
An owl cowl.
He holds onto a staff made of pure obsidian.
Okay.
And he asks,
Perfect.
I'm looking. Is Rory alive?
No. Dusty in here. No.
I see. Did Vecna kill him?
Yes.
Are the others dead?
Most likely.
So it's yes, no questions or advice?
It's like yes, no questions. It's basically,
Yes, no question. Okay.
or if you plan to take a specific action, it'll be like, wheel, whoa, like for good results, bad results. Like this is like if you go do this thing, it may not be such a great idea, or oh, that's a great idea. Yeah.
We are seeking help from the priest of Macabre. Is he to be trusted?
You see them like scratch his face a little bit. Yes.
Thank you. You may return from whence you came. I have no more use for you. As he stands up and he places the sword back on his back, and he
I feel like I'm there.
goes around and he lights all the candles again and locks the door. All right, sorry, I just was cleaning up a bit.
There's like a bunch of like soot kind of from the candles from the that happened, like the wind that came through, and it's just like a little dusting everywhere.
Splattered wax.
Yeah, some splattered wax.
Yeah.
I was cleaning up, and it's like a little bit messier.
All right.
What happened?
That's wax on the walls, right?
Yeah, no, wax on the walls. You gotta wax the walls so the paint stays true. Nothing. I was just cleaning up, of course. Sorry. Dirty room. Can't work in a dirty room.
No, it's covered in wax.
We're clearly
and
in
soot there.
different lines of work. So, what exactly did you learn from this?
Learn from what?
I swear, if you just walked in there and cleaned the room the entire time, I might slap you.
I'm telling you, I walked in there and I cleaned the room the entire time.
There is wax on the walls and soot everywhere. I can see that.
It is
From here.
It is the cleaning technique of my people from the hamlet, 70 miles south.
I slap him in the face. I don't have like bullets. I literally, but I just slap him in the face. Just you are giving me a condition.
There's a priest. You could probably get that alleviated.
I understand. I'm starting to not trust the foreigner even more in her.
The good thing is we can trust the people of Bacab.
What makes you say that?
Just a feeling.
A feeling. You feel your cheek. I'll give you another feeling in a minute. Talk plainly, because I've had enough.
I came into this room and I used some of the techniques and the skills that I've learned hunting spirits. And there was a spirit tied to this room, haunting this room. It was a benevolent spirit. And
Out with it, man.
we had a conversation.
You
I speak to ghosts.
something that you didn't think of mentioning.
I did. I told you I hunted ghosts.
He did say that. He did say he was a ghost hunter. To which I made fun of him for not ever having a trophy of such.
Mickey,
And
fucking hold on 1 sec. Let me just check this spell. Yeah. I don't have it. Motherfucker. I was going to cast Disguise Self and go plead for some wine from the communion.
Kane,
So dumb.
You probably still could. I mean, honestly.
what did the spirit
Right.
say?
The spirit asked what we were doing in its room, and I proceeded to explain that we are here to beseech the priest to break the curse, and could he be trusted? Spirits tend to be very truthful, and he said yes.
Then
I don't know if
perhaps
I
it is
trust
time.
that spirit. Sorry,
Okay.
what were you going to say?
So,
What were you going to say? Perhaps time what?
Time to see this priest. Then
yeah.
we will know if he is speaking the truth. We will see through his lies if we go in with open eyes.
But
I mean,
we always keep it on the skies.
This is a journey I'm growing to despise.
I'm getting a hankering for some pie.
I hope nobody dies.
I'm going to kill one of you guys.
Right. So, I guess let's go find where he is and rouse him from his praying and fasting.
All right. You guys head out towards where you saw the little priestess lady run off to, Clarice. And I believe Josh has to go soon?
Yes, it's coming up to...
All right.
In the next 15 minutes.
Okay. We'll go for like 5 more minutes, and then we'll do our spiel out wrap up, and then you can be the first to head out. All right, so you guys find Clarice. She's actually running back. She's like smoothing her robe. She's like, "Oh, hi there, you all. I was just coming to let you know that you have an appointment with him, right? Whenever you'd like. He's just fasting and meditating in the chamber over there."
Wonderful. The spirits think that you are very, very kind.
Oh, well,
I'm going to go continue handing out bread and drink to the poor. You let me know if you need anything else. And she kind of casts like a slightly nervous glance over to Tomb, and then just goes, "Oh, curtsies," and heads off.
Mm-hmm. Right. Awesome. Goodbye, young small gnome. All right, let's go to the priest's room.
All right, you head off down to into the hallway where there is another large eye on the pedestal inside the pentagram, over the door, and you it's cracked so you could just push it open and walk in.
I will hold the party back just a moment and just use my mage hand to push the door open.
You push the door open.
Sleight of hand to.
Yeah, yeah. See if you can do it without anybody seeing.
Just want to see what he's in the middle of doing before we. 24.
24. Are you arcane rogue subclass?
No, I'm
Okay, all right. So you make it invisible if you want. No, all right. It was 24. No, he does not notice. And you see the door kind of open, as if a breeze had pushed it open the rest of the way. You see this rather large man, very jowly, big priest vestments. He's got, they're white and gold. That's the colors here. Everything is white and gold. Big, large gold holy symbol on him. Big bald spot, just a little bit of hair around the outside edge. He appears to be just, sitting and praying on a rather large pillow in front of an altar. And there's a desk in the room as well, and several other pillows for people to come in and meditate or visit, whatnot. And a large window that overlooks the city. Kind of had to go up the stairs a little bit at the end of the hall to get here.
What language is he praying in?
He is praying. That's an excellent question. It appears he is praying in... Probably should be common.
Okay.
Occasionally, he'll say, an incantation, basically kind of like, in Catholic, they do Latin occasionally. He's, apparently his occasional is celestial. Just a verse here and there of his chanting.
I look at. I'm gonna just step into the room quietly.
Okay.
And I imagine it's going to be shattered immediately by my party because I've. But I'm gonna step into the room quietly and check to see if he's alone in here.
Yeah. You look around. Are you stealthing at all, or are you just?
Yeah, I'm gonna stealth. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a 29.
Yeah, he doesn't hear you. You ghost in. And he appears to be alone in the room.
Okay. I've just sort of used the mage hand to wave the rest of them in.
Yeah. It's like you blinked and he was gone, but then the mage hand is beckoning you and you see him in there. Like, whoa, that was fast. Where'd he go?
Well, that's not the strangest thing. As he walks in the door.
Tomb clanks really, really loudly. Like every footfall is just like.
Yeah, as you step in, you hear, "Hello there! Need fast greetings to you all. How have I helped you today?"
We're looking.
That is what we're going to call it, just with him greeting you all. I feel like that's a really good spot to start off next week. So, this has been super fun. You guys are amazing. I'm so glad to be playing with you. But let's all say hello, goodbye. Where we are, where we can find us online, and did you have a good time? Let's start with Josh, because I know Josh has to go soonest.
Indeed. Thank you so much for having me. Apologies to the Greyhawk channel for everything I said that was in character. I'm sorry. So sorry. You can find me in 10 minutes over on Encounter Roleplay, DMing Long March. You can find me online at Encounter Josh. You can find me after that. There's 3 hours of that, and then straight after that there is the World Tree Burns in Midgard setting by Kobold Press, which is going to also be on Counter, and that is just I'm playing Kane. Funnily enough,
What a day you have.
Yeah, I'm having a day.
Oh, jeez.
So this is my coffee. This is coffee and wine and everything else. But thank you so much for having me. I had an absolute blast. I love all of you guys, even though Mickey hates all of you. It's wonderful. I've known Zippy and Myth for ages, and I haven't had the pleasure of playing with Don before, but I know him through professional work and stuff. So yeah, it's an absolute blast. Lindy, you were amazing as always. And my God, the bit where you had something. I don't want to know what I handed you and you held up. I don't want to know that. It's just makes...
Behind the monitor is a shelf of stuff.
Yes.
It's
I
a
wish.
prop table.
I wish.
Warehouse, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good idea, though.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me. And yeah, I won't bamf off until
Okay.
because I'll mess up cameras. But.
All right. It's all good. All right. Let's go with Zippy. We'll just go like zigzaggy this time.
Hi, I'm Zippy. I had a lot of fun today. You can find me here on Twitch at Zippy_Zippo. I just play games, role play. I do a bunch of tabletop RPGs. Later today, we're going to be on Video Store Cowboys channel doing the 6 and 20 Metropolis, which is their City of Mist game. Well, I'll be playing Henry, who is the embodiment of Kernunos.
Ooh. Excellent. Dawn, where can we find you?
Hey, I'm Don. You can find me on Twitter at Donathan Fry. I had a blast today. I haven't had the chance to. I play with Lindy pretty frequently, but I haven't had the chance to play with any of you guys, and you're all great. At a really good time. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll see stuff that I write. I write comics, mostly fantasy comics. I write D&D stuff. And then I'm in the Tomes and Tentacles podcast, which is great with Lindy. I'm in Dice Tribe, which I produce. It's like a prequel to Tomb of Annihilation. That's awesome. You can follow that. And then the big thing that I want to announce is this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm over on Greg's channel, Grimjack's channel. We're doing a premiere of a new Pulp Cthulhu show called Project Kronos. It's going to be great. Kiana, a bunch of great people in the community are doing it. And it's sort of like if you mix the Watchmen with Indiana Jones and Cthulhu, and maybe like a little bit of time wonkiness too. It's going to be a really good time. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to next week and getting to find out more about the story. I love the story so far.
Awesome. Mythomatic.
Hello, I'm Mythomatic. I'm a voice actor and role player here on Twitch. You can find me at twitch.tv/Mythomatic. I had a blast today. It was so much fun. Really was a wonderful reunion to play with Josh. Again, I haven't played with Josh in so long. I've never played with Zippy on a tabletop, but I've played in various roleplay servers and through different games with Zippy, and we've known each other for years. And it's my first time playing with Dawn, and it was a blast. And thank you so much, guys. And Lindy, it was amazing. I'm super excited to see where the story takes us. And yeah, I just had a blast.
Too.
And thank you all, chat, for being so wonderful. And yeah, I'll see you all next week, I guess, or throughout the week on. I also play on Encounter Roleplay on every Monday as well. We have a Cthulhu game doing Atomic Cthulhu, and you can find me there 4:30 to 7:30 EST.
Mm-hmm. We like Cthulhu in this group.
Cthulhu is
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Never played.
I can't wait to see where this story goes as well, because this is gonna be a fantastic group, and I have a feeling it's gonna go completely off the rails, and I cannot wait. You can find me online.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, please. Crazy is my favorite terrain. You can find me online at LaughLoveLindy on Twitches and the Twitters. All sorts of stuff. I'm just going to go through my spiel as quickly as possible. We'll start with Tuesdays. Every Tuesday for the next several weeks, couple months, you can find us here on the Greyhawk channel, which is super awesome and amazing. I'm so glad to have the opportunity to run this game. I'm really looking forward to it. At, let's see, 8 p.m.-ish Eastern, so in a few hours, you can find me on my channel running Out of the Abyss. Tomorrow, usually Tomes and Tentacles comes out today as well, which is an awesome podcast that me and Don are in, but we need to record some more. Tomorrow afternoon, you can find me and Don again with some other awesome people on Encounter Roleplay for Call of Cthulhu. 3 hours after that, Star Wars RPG, also on Encounter Roleplay. Thursday evenings, Web DM show for Land Between Two Rivers. Every Friday, Firefly RPG on Grimjack21502's channel. About every other Saturday, you can find me on Power Score RPG doing some D&D, and Scraticus's channel for some Pirates of Paradise every few weeks or so, whenever the schedules align. Sundays, usually RPGN on WebDM's channel. However, we are taking a hiatus until mid-July for upgrades. Sunday night, Grimjack21502's channel, again for Pulp Cthulhu, and that is all, folks. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I suppose we should do a raid if possible. Let me see. Is there anyone streaming the D&D right now as I drop things on my floor?
Ooh. No, Scraticus is alive.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's go raid
Good old
Scraticus,
Scrat.
as he is awesome. And I don't know if we can do raids from here. I think we can. I'm streaming. Scraticus. Boom. Yes, it is working.
Nailed
So
it.
let's go give him a big hello welcome. He does awesome Dungeons and Dragons stuff. And he's a really awesome person. He does.
And he's cooking for me this weekend.
Oh, well, I'm
Yeah.
jealous now. He also
I'm
helps a
getting
lot of
ramen.
people
So excited.
Nice.
get into the Dungeons and Dragons community. So, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you come back next week for more crazy shenanigans. And I just have to wait for the raid countdown to go. So, bye y'all. We're good. Stop streaming. Yes. Boom.